All right, we're going to start off with the arena. Cam Curl breaks down his season-saving play.
Helped my team win the game, so you couldn't.
Were you surprised he went to DJ?
Nah, that's DJ Moore. He's a good player. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in those situations, overtime situations, you go into your best players. And I read it right. And it all fell in my hands the way it was supposed to.
And it looked like Odunze ran through you guys and might even had a step deep.
Yeah.
Did you look back at the tape?
Yeah, but it at the end of the day, it looked like a dagger concept. Odunze, he's usually just a runoff guy, clearing it up for DJ Moore.
Yeah.
So if you
He said he's usually the runoff guy. I feel like Odunze be getting the ball, though. I don't know about that, but hey. Why is he on the show? Don't he got a game next week? I mean, the show is in L.A., so it probably was easy for them to have him on. I mean, you got to think directly after the games, on Speak Easy, they be on FaceTime with the players. So, I mean, this is just, nearly as equivalent. He probably doesn't live far from where they record this shit.
Threw it to 15 and they would have made that play, that was good shit to them. But, I feel like I read the concept real good and just made the play.
You did.
Speaking of AP, man, I got a chance to play for my dog, AP. He a good DB coach. He damn near my age, so we really used to be in there like this. I'm like, AP, let me teach you. But how is it playing for my dog, AP?
Man, it's great, man. AP, he one of the best DB coaches I done had, man.
Yeah.
Just the attention to detail he got, you know what I'm saying? And, how he comes to work every day, the same every day. He expects greatness from us, and that's what you need, especially as a DB coach. Like, you got a bunch of guys really competing against each other.
Hell yeah.
But he know how to keep the room together and play together, man. And, like I said, we have extra meetings with him, you know what I'm saying? Just
Who's
he wants
home?
us to make plays.
Seattle.
He wants his players to get paid. He wants us to make plays, and that's the type of love he has for us.
Cam, I'm big on the journey and preparation. Like, you play in the game, you prep for it, and the end result. So when I say journey, you from where I'm from.
Yeah.
We from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You from the Gee. For
Yeah.
everybody, that's Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and
I played with 3 teammates that was from
Adidas Gucci collab. Very interesting.
Muskogee. So I know how people view me being from Oklahoma City and, there's no football players in Oklahoma, and I leave from
Off topic, how much y'all think this jacket costs? Just out of curiosity.
Texas. That's what they do.
Yeah,
Kinda
man.
tough.
Cali, Florida, they
It's straight.
That's what they know for. You see
We
what
ain't gotta talk about that,
all
man.
my teammates, you was like, this the dude? Oklahoma? So just tell us a little bit about the journey, what it's been like, man, because you come from
said fake.
Muskogee, Oklahoma, and now you're about to play in the NFC Championship with a chance to go to Super Bowl. Just kind of talk about what that journey's been like.
Man, it's been a crazy journey, man. Just starting back in high school, like, I graduated in 2017, and I was the first player from my high school to go straight D1 since, like, 2006, man.
Wow.
So, like, just being able to do that, for the city, man, and how they backed me, and I ended up going to the University of Arkansas, played some time there, and, like, I feel like even before I made it to the league, the city just backed me the whole time, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody done it like that, in so long, and just having that support.
Wemby went 5 for 21. How? That's crazy. Imagine the Rams win. I mean, it's not really much to imagine. It's possible.
Behind me, it helped me.
It's not like they
get to
didn't
where
beat the
I'm at,
Seahawks this year. It's
seventh
possible.
round pick. I knew from day one, just had to get it out the mud, and I feel like that's what I've been doing my whole life, man. And being able to earn a starting spot, my rookie year, and to continue playing, and like, this my 6th year making a 53-man roster at the training camp as a 7th round pick, so I don't like, take that lightly, because every year I go into training camp as that 7th round pick, it's gonna stick by my name, so I gotta prove it every year.
I like it.
Yeah.
Coach?
Cam,
Yeah.
NFC Championship, man. You got one eye on that, and you got another eye on your free agents this year, right?
Yeah.
Done a lot of great things, man. A big-time interception.
Oh, he's an upcoming free agent? Is that what he just said?
Yeah.
NFC Championship, man. You got one eye on that, and you got another eye on your free agents this year, right?
Yeah.
Done a lot of great things, man. A big-time interception. Just tell me about your perseverance, man, being a 7th round pick and how hard it is for you to continue to kick the door in with the limited opportunities you had. There's been guys in front of you. So the reps that you get, how meaningful they are to you and how you've been able to take advantage of them when you get that opportunity in Washington and obviously in LA.
Yeah, like you said, just every rep is meaningful, man, because I done been, the guy's 7th round pick, earn a starting spot, and, they still drafting guys, in my position ahead of me, you know what I'm saying? So just having to fight for it every year, I feel like that built that callous, you know what I'm saying? Just to know, like, I'm not worried about nothing. I know I'm going to go grind. I know I'm going to get it out the mud. Like, and, you know, I got all faith in myself. You know, I got faith in God, you know, and the ability he gave me, and the opportunity he been giving me, man. I just continue to grind for it.
I want to talk about your team because you're in the locker room with them every day. What makes this Rams team capable of taking it all the way?
I feel like this is the most connected team I've ever been on.
Really?
Like, you know, it's certain teams, you know, some people talk to some people. Like, this team, like, everybody talk to everybody. Everybody close to everybody.
You know what's
and I feel
crazy?
like
Some of the best teams, you like, even this year, you hear that, like, they it's not just the defense talk to the defense. It's like everybody kind of on the same page. Like, everybody cool with each other. And I feel like some of the best teams, that's where you hear that at, you know. And again, it's not like every single person is buddy with each other, but you know, like there's a mutual respect and mutual bond all throughout the locker room.
At the head with McVay, like just how he runs the team, how he runs the building. Everybody got love for everybody. And Stafford, like, it's Matthew Stafford, like, but he not too cool for nobody. Like, Stafford gonna talk to everybody. He cool. Puka, like, I feel like everybody just down to earth, you know what I'm saying, and know that we need every single guy in the building to, you know, get the job done. I feel like that's the type of relationship everybody got.
You always talk about that on the show.
Hey, that's the key to success. If you don't got that, you don't got shit. Like Coach said, NFC chip coming up. Do your preparation, do it change? Do you do extra? Do you do less? What you do as the games get bigger, how you go about it?
I feel like, you know, you keep it the same to a certain extent, but the intensity, you know, and the urgency got to rise, you know what I'm saying? Just because the type of moment it is, like, you know, this is like since the playoffs started, it's been win or go home. So since the playoffs started, the urgency, the intensity, the attention to detail, it has to rise, you know what I'm saying? Because you never know what play is going to win or lose the game, you know? But like you said, NFC Championship coming up, like, this is the farthest I've ever been in the postseason. Like, I never been in no NFC Championship or nothing, you know what I'm saying? So. Just learning from the guys who've been there before, man, and, you know, just taking opportunity, like, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And, like, every year, NFL teams start over. So you never know, you know, when the next opportunity going to be to play in this type of game. So just taking advantage of it, man, and just leaving the field with no regrets, for real.
Talk to me about Seattle a little bit. You have to have one eye on Kenneth Walker III and one eye on Smith and Jigba, and you got Cooper Kupp over there. Tell me about your mentality. You just played in Week 18 and lost a heartbreaking overtime loss, but tell me about your mentality going into this game.
You know, Seattle, they got a good team, man. You know what I'm saying? They coach well. They got a defense. The defense is going crazy right now, man. So
You post on TikTok?
I feel like this game
not
is gonna
really.
be
Like
whoever
here and
defense
there.
plays the best. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to make plays for 9. We're gonna have to make plays for the offense, you know, to help us score. We might got to score on defense. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a hard fought game, man. It's gonna be a dog fight, man. I feel like we're ready for it though.
Okay, so you picked off Sam Darnold 4 times at your place and twice up there, and yet you barely won the game at your place and you lost the game in overtime up there. But why have you been so successful picking the ball off against Sam Darnold?
I just feel like, you know, our secondary, like, we know what type of quarterback he is. You know what I'm saying? Our secondary and our D-line pass rush. Like, you know, going back to last year in the Wild.
I think TikTok is the same name as the which name? I don't even know off the top of the head. It's either Hallsway 1 or is Hall on Mars 1. It's one of the two.
You know, we got after him. The pass rush got after him. We was in Minnesota. And, you know, it's always going to be in the back of his head. You know what I'm
There you
saying?
go. No, it's
So
just
if the
Hallsway.
D-line
It's
can
up
get
there.
after him, we can make plays on the ball. That's going to win us the game.
Do you see him get rattled?
I feel like our D-line can rattle any quarterback, man. We got some guys on that D-line, on the edge and in the interior, man. So I feel like our D-line can be X factor for us.
And by the way, on the 1 2-pointer that they somehow scored, where were you on the play when Sam Darnold throws it and hits Jared Verse in the helmet, and the ball's live and it trickles in the end zone? Were you around the ball or did?
Yeah, I actually touched the ball, man. Like, you know, I seen the ball and I tried to go get it. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't come down with it. It was a bunch of bodies right there, but
Charbonnet just
man, that was
picked it up.
That was questionable, man, because it took so long for them to, you know, tell us what happened. Like, we ready to go kick the ball off, and they telling us that the 2-point is good. So, you know, it's a little iffy, man, but, you know, that's behind us. We worried about this next game.
All right.
I know you last game, you had an issue with what they said on the other side about y'all secondary.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, Puka, Vontae, Sean McVay. That's what we hearing about the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
But Seattle, the defense. If I'm going to oppose a defense, I'm like, oh, so they the only team with a good defense.
Right, yeah.
I know how he was. I played with him. Is there a chip on y'all shoulder as a defense as a whole? Like, it's cool. Just keep talking about that defense.
Yeah.
Y'all just keep talking about them. But as a whole, are y'all meeting like, we going to go show them? Because y'all just did it versus Chicago.
Right.
Y'all took it personal. Is there a chip on y'all shoulder going into this game?
No, I feel like since this secondary got together, we had a chip on our shoulder because we don't really got no big-name guys in our secondary. You know, we got a bunch of 6th-round, 7th-round guys playing, undrafted guys playing, you know. So it's been built in us to have a chip on our shoulder, man. And we continue to go out and make plays. Like, we don't need all the limelight. We don't need none of that, man. We just go try to help the team win the game, man. So we're going to go out there. We're going to play our best ball. We're going to make plays on the ball, and we're going to disrupt the game for our offense.
Forbes was a first rounder. Don't even try it.
Yeah.
I mean, Forbes a first rounder, but he got cut from his team before his rookie contract was over with.
You know, you're late
Coach is like, I'm gonna call you out.
And I tell you what, we had 13 tackles, game-winning pick. Your name getting known in the playoffs, so there's no limelight shit. It's gonna be over with.
Yeah.
That bag is going the way.
We ain't gonna let that
You
shit
guarantee
change us,
that
though,
shit.
man. We still gonna have that chip on our shoulder, man. We ain't gonna forget where we come from, man.
For real.
How do you guys feel about the Seahawks? Obviously, this is the NFC Championship, but this is also a division rival right here. And you guys split throughout the season. How's the chip going into the Seahawks?
Man, like, we already know what type of game it's gonna be. You know, it's gonna be some bad blood, man. It's been words exchanged over the past 2 games.
I can
You know,
imagine.
it's playoff football, though. That's what it's supposed to be. You know, it's division rivalry. You know what I'm saying? NFC Championship, like, it set itself. You know, the opportunity and, you know,
Appreciate
it's
it,
gonna
Rex.
set itself. And, you know, I feel like we're gonna go out there and we play our game. We're gonna be all good.
Amazing. Well, we appreciate you so much coming on the show. I do. You guys know I picked the Rams to win the Super Bowl. I've been saying that for weeks. I think you guys are just yoked on both sides of the field. So
It's gonna be tough. It ain't easy at all, bro. For the Rams, they got their hands full with the Seahawks. But if they can make it out, they would be my favorite. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, right now, whoever come out the NFC is my favorite. But they definitely got their hands full with the Seahawks. And if they play the Patriots in Super Bowl, that's not gonna be easy either. So we'll see. And if the Broncos can skate out the Patriots, you know, that will show something, and that ain't gonna be easy either. But still, NFC team is my favorite. We're gonna move on to the next topic. Let's see what they're talking about. They're talking about Fernando Mendoza
we're
next.
excited for you.
Oh, yeah.
Did you get that gold chain at Arkansas, Washington, or the Rams?
What?
That gold.
Hey, pleasure.
Tell Shawnee I said
Game this weekend, but we've also got a fun show today, you guys. Fernando Mendoza proved he's expected to go #1 in the 2026 NFL.
I ain't gonna spend bro. Hey, he balled out yesterday. That was a cold touchdown. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this because we talked about this yesterday with Speak Easy. So if you watch on YouTube, you wanna hear us talk more in depth. That was somewhat of a long segment. That was actually the longest segment of that video. It should be on the video from yesterday. We're gonna talk about this too long.
Huge plays in the fourth quarter to lead Indiana to a national championship. That was wild. And the coaching carousel is starting to go round and round, and we break down 3 of the earliest hires. And then Steelers haven't filled a role yet, and major questions right now is who's going to be the new coach, and are they going to want Aaron Rodgers? But first, let's get into last night's game because it was the Natty. We don't normally talk about college football on the show, but we got to talk about that because I'm just so impressed with Fernando Mendoza. How can you not love this guy? All eyes were on the Heisman Trophy winner, and he is definitely going to go #1 in my eyes. And he led Indiana to the first team since 1894 to go 16-0. So impressive. One play in particular stood out to why there was so much hype around him. Let's take a look because 4th down, Mendoza took the snap. It's on himself, running for not only first down, but touchdown. Reaching for that.
That was dope.
Look at his parents.
That was a hell of a run.
Yeah, it was.
Dang.
Bro, tough as shit.
So, Jay, I need to know, did Fernando Mendoza prove that he should be the #1 overall pick?
Oh, he solidified. Well, not even the number 1 overall pick, but he solidified the number 1 QB in this draft. I'm not gonna say number 1 overall pick because that's gonna depend on. I know the Raiders got that pick right now, but let's say they trade down. It's just gonna depend on who's picking number 1. You know, but did he solidify he's the best quarterback in this draft class? Then there you go.
To me, prove that there should be a statue of him. His jersey should be retired tomorrow. Period. Tomorrow. Just retire it and give him a statue right now. What he did at Indiana, the success they had, him and Coach Cignetti, is unbelievable accomplishment. I mean, at Indiana, my dad was at Indiana for 5 years. We
Was he? Wow.
barely won a game.
Wow.
You know, it was so bad they'd take a picture of the scoreboard if we led Ohio State 3-0 in the first quarter. That's how bad it was.
They said Mendoza got the good autism. Interesting.
When you were
Yeah, when I was little.
Little
of course.
kid.
Yeah. But to say he should be the number 1 overall pick, I think that would be insulting the process of the draft. You know what I mean? You have to go through your process.
Yeah.
You have to see his whole body of work. You have to get to know the kid, watch him throw in person. Now, based on what he's done in his production, hell yeah. If I'm the Raiders, I'm excited as hell to get a guy that loves football, that's a great competitor, and has won games despite, a lot of issues around him. Maybe not the best talent around him, what have you, but he's figured out a way to win games in very tough situations at a school that is not known for winning. So based on that, I'd say yes, but I would be disrespecting the profession of evaluating if I just said, oh, hell yeah, take him number 1. I got to watch him throw the ball. I got to see how he interacts with people in the meeting room. Everything points to.
I think that's super fair. I think that's the fair statement right there. You got to break down the film, look at the X's and O's. But he won a Heisman for a reason. They went undefeated for a reason. They won the Natty for a reason. And I think determining is if he's the best quarterback. That I think that's solidified right now. But maybe you could find somebody close. If you really break down film and you look at the details of the game, you might be able to see. Because relatively, this quarterback class from 2025 was pretty close in terms of whether it be production or talent or skill. All three, they all kind of played on a very similar level. Nobody rose above everybody else.
The hell yes, he's a great kid. But let's go through the process first. What an impressive story. It's unbelievable what Indiana did and Coach Cignetti and Mendoza. You can't be more impressed. You can't be more excited about his future. But let's just take our time, take a deep breath. A lot of owners, a lot of GMs.
Is Pavia going into the draft?
Let's take that guy. But still, go through the process. Probably 95%, yes, he's number 1 pick. But let's just make sure we go through all the process of the draft. Pro day, workouts, all that.
I think that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to do all this extra. Let's make him do this, and let's just measure his arms and measure his
jump through the
feet.
hoops and.
I didn't say all that now. He's big enough.
See how big his hands are.
He's got all the intangibles. I got that. But still, let's just go through it. But yeah, I said 95%.
Bro is the Heisman Trophy winner. That means he's the best player in college football. He is the national champion. Bro beat Oregon twice. He beat O State, Alabama.
He didn't lose.
And Miami. Like, he served everybody from give me the best team from your conference, we serving them. Like, he proved that he's the best quarterback in college football. The number 1 team in the draft, they need a quarterback. So, hell yeah, that's your quarterback right there. He don't have to do shit. He could come with headphones and jury on like Shador, and you still should pick his ass. Fuck everything.
You're probably right, but I still would like to see him throw and get to know the kid. I'm just saying, just go through the process.
Bro handled the media like none other. You know what I'm saying?
He's a great kid.
You ain't got to worry about if this dude going to be there in the offseason, April, May, June, July. You ain't got to worry about if he going to be there or not. He's going to be there. He extremely smart. He going to be able to handle any playbook you put in front of him. I feel like he loved the game. You see how he act after the games. He loved football. I mean, if I'm starting a team, I'm trying to start it with him. And on the field, he hella accurate, and he throw a fucking amazing back shoulder. That's an unguardable ball by corner. If you could throw a back shoulder that damn good, hey, I'm telling you, that throw right there going to translate to the league. He going to be a damn good back shoulder thrower. He going to need a damn good back shoulder catcher, and that shit going to translate to the league. If I was drafting number 1, it's a no-brainer, bro. I don't even want you to do shit. You ain't got to do the combine. You ain't got to interview. I already seen everything I need to see.
Well, there have been other successful quarterbacks in the history of football that have not.
He really doesn't need to do the combine. I don't think he does. I think interviews are necessary. But combine, I don't think he needs to do that.
Been very good in the NFL, right? So I'm just saying, go through the process. I said 95%, yes, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick, but still I would like to see teams do their due diligence and put the work in. And then take him number 1.
And measure his hands, okay.
Yeah, measure his hands.
All right. We're gonna keep it pushing. Again, we spoke on Mendoza yesterday. How much time I got? I got 3 minutes left on this segment. That's fine. I'll let 3 minutes run.
Are you gonna hate on him? Don't do
No,
that.
I don't hate on nobody. I want everybody. I wish everybody success.
But you got a job to do, right?
I got a job to do.
The check cleared.
If I'm the Raiders, who are one of the big 5 in the NFL, Raiders, 49ers, Pittsburgh, Cowboys, and San Fran. Those are big 5 organizations. You picked up your organization, you left Oakland and came to Vegas. Over the last 4 years, you've had 3 head coaches and 3 GMs. So now you have the first overall pick, and you have to make a great decision. If you miss on this, you could set your organization back another 5 years.
Yeah.
Mendoza played great. He managed everything excellent. We've seen the results of NIL and transfer portal. This team had age group that was the same age as NFL teams. They were very well coached. All of that. I never seen anything where I was like, you know what? Leverage that guy for the next 5 years. Is he a good player? Yes. But this is something that if you are not absolutely sure that that is the guy, you don't just take him just because he's the best available. They are in a different situation than most organizations. 3 head coaches and 3 GMs over
The only way that you don't take Mendoza, being the Raiders, is you trade that pick back, because it's gonna look bad, you know. Unless there is just some guy in this draft that is a non-quarterback that is just that good, then it's excusable. But if you don't take the best non-QB available or Mendoza, you got to trade back.
last 4 years. Y'all been missing on everything. So this is, if you won, you got to bring in right head coach. But this pick and what you do with it is too important. So if you are not absolutely sure that this is the guy, you don't take him, because you can take that first overall pick, you can bring in the segue guy and wait till next year. You can use that pick and get more pieces and then go next year. If you believe he's the guy, that's great. I didn't see anything all season where I'm like, you know what? He's a can't-miss pick. He's really good. His
ball placement ain't second to none.
We've seen a lot of good, great ball placement.
Like who?
Over
like
the
more?
years. You want me? I mean, I could go down the list of 20 years of great ball placement.
Like who?
We've seen great ball placement.
Who?
I would have to go over the list, but we're talking about right now. We're talking about right now.
You ain't seen a list of great ball placement. I promise you that.
We have. I played with one. He was the first overall pick. He had phenomenal ball placement.
Who is that?
Sam Bradford. He's phenomenal ball placement. You're a lie if you say he didn't. You watched him. He had phenomenal ball placement.
Yeah,
He was
but
the
he
first
was
overall pick.
highly injury prone.
Yeah, see, he got a asterisk next to his name because he was highly injury prone.
Yeah.
That's fine. Y'all talking about a bunch of stuff that I ain't say. I said you have to be absolutely sure. If you are, take him. If you're not, then
I feel like his ball placement was second to none is since Burrow.
Akiva is making an argument that doesn't counter what Gerald McCoy is saying, but like they both right, but Akiva is like making an argument to the point that he don't have to argue. We're gonna move on to the next topic. I do agree with that. You like, if you're gonna pick him, you got to be 100% sure that is your guy. If not, don't do it.
He did have an introductory press conference 2 years ago, and this is what he had to say. I love.
Well, when you recruit them, how do you sell your vision of your culture? I mean, what's the...
Who are you talking about? The high school guys, the transfers, who?
All of the above. I mean, how do you...
It's pretty simple. I win.
And that's
I win.
Yeah, and
He
he
sound
has
like
backed
me.
that up.
Yep.
He sound like me. Shit, hey,
Yeah.
I win, bro.
So earlier this week when he was asked about the NFL, Cignetti said, I'm not an NFL guy. I made that decision a long time ago. But, Skip, should an NFL team pay him whatever it takes to hire Cignetti?
And I would if I ran an NFL.
You would?
Fuck no.
Oh, so he for sure wants to go to the NFL. Okay. Hey, I didn't know this. Okay, so he don't plan on being in Indiana too much longer.
I was there when Jimmy Johnson walked in the door in Dallas and when he walked out the door in Dallas, and I watched it happen and unfold, and a lot of people don't think college coaches can translate. This guy could translate if he so chose, and he's just sworn up and down and pledged allegiance to college football in Indiana. So it sounds like it's not going to happen. I would try because I think he.
Okay, so I don't know if he does or he doesn't based off of what they're saying. I don't know where. But should an NFL team try to hire him? I mean, why not? Why not? He clearly knows how to build a team. So, like, he knows what to look for winning football. And I think whether that's grown men or college players, you know, winning football is winning football. You know,
he would translate supremely to the NFL. I'm going to say it again, as I just said. I have never seen a college or pro football team better coached than this one was. Better prepared, better strategized in all three phases, because the key play of the game last night was the block punt for a touchdown. I like him as a commander, as an authority figure, as a disciplinarian, as a teacher, as a driving force of a team that, as Jay said, accomplished something that's just impossible, what they did. Because even the 3 years before he got there, they went 2-10, 4-8, and 3-9. And then you just said he walks in the door and he won. And he won, and he won, and he won. And they dominated these playoffs. You just said it was still 10-0 at halftime, and then they go put up 17 in the second half. They destroyed Alabama. They destroyed Oregon. And he created a machine unlike any I've ever seen. And there's some genius level to this guy that I think is rare. And was he lost at James Madison for a while? Look what he did. They went 52-9. He wins. And I promise you it would translate to the next level. If you gave him the Buffalo job right now and you gave him Josh Allen, they would win at least 2 Super Bowls, I believe, because he would just turn it right around. Whatever is missing in Buffalo, the edge with which he coaches, and he coaches with scary sort of edge to him. He is locked in. His players fear him and they love him. And that's the beautiful sort of Jimmy Johnson combination. And Aqib is scoffing at me, but I'm just telling you, if he got a shot, he would run with it. He would win, just like Lieb always won.
Well, I think it's a success rate of this happening. Won a national championship. The goal is to win a Super Bowl, right?
That's it.
That's it, right? Not come in and win a bunch of games. That'd be good at that. How many people did that? Jimmy Johnson, Barry Switzer, he took over Jimmy Johnson's team, and Pete Carroll. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the whole list. The people don't understand is coaching college kids and grown millionaires. I'm married with 5 kids.
They're grown millionaires now.
They are. Hey, Gerald.
I'm married.
Oh, that's interesting. They getting millions now. They are, for sure. So the dynamic, I think, is different now than it was 10 years ago.
The average age of the Indiana football team.
How many of them are married with 5 kids?
Time out. It's 24 years of age.
How many of them are married with
a lot
all these
about the machine
children?
he created.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's just people staying around the NIL, the transfer portal.
Yeah.
That's cool. That is not how you running college is completely different than running the NFL. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It is just not the same.
Coach,
So
you
I
obviously.
If I'm an owner of the NFL team that just fired my coach and I go to my GM, I said, give me your list of candidates. And if he's not the number one candidate, I fire the damn GM.
Thank you.
He's the number one candidate I'm calling. Nobody can accomplish what he accomplished in Indiana. Nobody.
Thanks,
This is the
Coach.
greatest accomplishment in the history of football.
He better be bringing
What he did in Indiana is the greatest accomplishment ever in
He
football.
better be bringing Mark Cuban with him.
I don't give a damn.
better have Mark
I'm
Cuban
calling
coming
first.
with you, too, in the
He's
league.
probably going to say no, but I'm calling him first. And if he says no,
Like,
fine, then
bro.
I'll go to my second list
I don't-
and call Saleh. I'll call the guy at Green Bay. I'll call
Give me
him.
Haffley.
I don't-
Give me Haffley.
Yeah,
I
give me
want
Haffley.
The Packers release Diggs.
Give me Cignetti.
Half-ass
Yeah,
Haffley.
they're not gonna pay him.
I don't doubt
Bro.
it.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna pay Diggs. I don't think they released him because he was trash. I think they released him because his contract was already up. Like, if I'm not mistaken, because he got waived, so there was no obligation. They picked him up on waivers, so there was no obligation to keep him or pay him, if I'm not mistaken. I can't recall the terminology, but they would have had to pay him this offseason anyway. So that's just what that would have been. So he technically would have been a free agent regardless.
I mean, what is it?
They accepted his contract though and paid him for the year. Yeah, for this year. But is it did they accept the contract for next year as well? Because I don't know if waivers work like that. When somebody gets waived and you pick them up, you pick up their contract for the current season. I don't know about the following season. So if I'm not mistaken, he would have been a free agent anyway. So they just got that money off the books sooner than later. His contract isn't up until 2027. I don't know if waivers I don't know if waivers work like that. I could be wrong, but I would assume that the Cowboys pay him the rest of that contract. But what he was owed this year, the Packers picked that up.
I'm not saying he's not a
Let
good
me go
coach.
rehire Mike
but-
McDaniel again.
All right,
I'm going to call that son bitch first.
Send me to Indiana with that same team and Mark Cuban, and we will win the chip. That's
Okay.
like saying Cignetti. If Cignetti, switch him. Cignetti, you go to Miami.
How many 5 stars did Indiana have compared to Miami? Compared to Alabama?
if he go
Compared to Oregon?
Yeah.
They had least amount of 5 stars of all those programs. They had to be correct.
Yeah.
No, they got grown ass man. You just said it. The average, what's the average age? What's the average age?
So you got 5 stars coming out of high schools, 18.
Right.
You got 24-year-olds
You tell me
playing
Oregon,
college
Miami, and
football.
Alabama doesn't have anybody over 22?
Yeah.
This
they all
many?
do.
They have a few. They have a lot.
Okay,
Man.
he's a great coach.
I mean, it's not like
he's
you guys
a
are
phenomenal
gray-bearded
coach. He's a
old men.
phenomenal coach. We know that. But what we just
Who
seen
gets these
is where
players?
college
Look who.
football is headed. He
Bro,
figured it out early.
that's it.
He said, I'm going to get the oldest guys who played the most. That's why the NIL transfer portal changed college football. He figured it out. He said,
I'm gonna
"Man,
go
get all these
25
old
guys
kids that
from
can
James
play.
Madison.
Coach them up and we going to win."
I brought 25
He
guys
did.
with me
He
from
brought
James Madison.
25.
Who gives
That
James
is a
Madison?
fact.
We're beating
So-
Oregon by 50. We're
Like
beating
50.
Alabama by
You know
40.
why? You
Yeah.
know why?
We just won a national
Out of them
championship.
25 guys, is 22 of them the starters?
It
Them
might be.
25 backups who just know the system.
How many
Y'all
of those?
fucking backups who know the system.
How
all
many
the starters,
Indiana players could start at Alabama? That's what I
all
want
the
to know.
starters is the ones who Mark Cuban went and cut the fucking checks to.
Yeah.
Y'all was guys who fit. You can go to the league right now and be a 5th, 6th round pick. Come over here, I get a million.
But
You can go to
Ohio
the league and be a
State's
5th, 6th
cutting
round
the
pick.
checks, too. They got big
So if
They're all
Cignetti go
cutting the
coach
check.
Miami would have won the chip.
Oh, my. Like,
look
run
at-
away with
okay.
that.
Man,
So
you crazy
Miami
as hell.
was the same.
Cignetti is
Miami
the
had a
product
bunch
of
of
having
old
an
guys,
old
too.
ass
Okay.
team
It's the
and a
formula.
good ass quarterback. If you switch them coaches, then Miami Cristobal would have had a chip. You go give him 25-year-olds and the best quarterback in college football. Like, bro, that shit, players play.
Beck is 50.
He ain't doing
Beck is-
what did he do that was so outrageous? He
Beck-
RPO through hitches.
Beck graduated
he threw
3
back
years
shoulders.
ago. Beck
He ain't do
graduated-
nothing major.
Beck graduated 3 years ago at Miami. He's 27 years old, damn near. So I'm saying,
And his teammates was old too. That's why they was the last two standing.
Exactly.
They had the oldest teams.
They was the
They
oldest
had the
two
most
teams.
experience.
You get a whole bunch
They
of
played the most football.
NFL rookies.
That's what I'm saying.
They're gonna be more disciplined. They're gonna be stronger.
That's
They're gonna
what
be
I'm
more
saying.
physical. Like, bro, it's not rocket science. I guarantee you, Power 4 football gonna turn to 23, 24, and 25-year-olds. All the other shit
That's
gonna
where
be
it's
young
headed.
boys.
He figured it out
It's
early.
just where college football
That's
is
where
going
college
now.
football is headed.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna rush to the league like the kid at Oregon? Why am I gonna rush to the league? I don't even know if I'm ready. Well, I don't need to. I'm making $5 million.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rush to the league and struggle? No, I'm just here and make $5 million.
Rush
If it
to
don't
the
work,
league and
and
make
party at
700,000.
you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
bro.
Like,
But what?
nah, man, no, I'm just keep playing college football. I keep
Yeah.
telling y'all,
Party,
there's a
being
lot
a
of
cool
great
guy in
players in
college.
college football, but there's a reason I call it glorified high school football. Because that jump way up here, your what we would look at, if we look at that guy's like, oh, he ain't whatever. At the NFL, That dude is destroying everybody in college football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different level up here. You
Okay,
just
well-
heard Cam talk about
And you
his
guys
journey.
stepped on the field. You've been through it. Okay.
Yeah, but you guys sound just like the Dallas Cowboy veterans when Jimmy walked in and said, we're going to do this, this, and this. And they said, that's high school shit. We don't do it. We don't play that game. And guess
how long
what?
ago
They
was
were all gone within a year.
How many people
and guess
have done
what?
it since Jimmy Johnson?
In 3 years, the Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
How many people have done it since Jimmy Johnson? Barry Switzer, who
Yeah.
took over Jimmy Johnson's
just
team.
saying.
and
How many chips have Cignetti won?
Chips?
How many teams are there in Division I
Like
football?
national championships.
Why couldn't Purdue, Michigan
for the
State,
league that he
Texas
was in?
Tech,
How
Texas,
many championships have James Madison
Colorado
won?
State, all these other teams
Did they
doing
win a chip every
Cignetti
year?
They went 52-9.
Did they win a chip
I
every
don't know
year?
what they're not Division I when he got there.
Well, wait, Division Two. Did they win a Division
Michigan,
Two?
South Carolina, Arkansas, all these teams, they could have done the same thing as Cignetti.
How many chips
They
did
could've
this
done it.
motherfucker got?
Well, he got the biggest one ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
He's
what he got.
28-2 in 2 years at Indiana.
I
don't
ain't
know
saying
if
nothing
you
about
understand.
Indiana. That's a great NIL play. He figured it out. He got Mark Cuban. They did their
He's the
motherfucking
only
thing.
coach in college football that figured out the NIL program. Then all the other coaches in college football should be fired because that's what college football.
I think regardless of who he has backing him up, I think he knows how to put a team together. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if these other Power 5 schools or whoever also have funding. You know what I mean? Because they are bigger schools. I just think he know how to put a team together. You know, so because you could pay a bunch of guys a bunch of money and they could be top recruits, but if you don't know how to put them in the right system, and not only that, again, coach, he's a good coach. Gotta be. We can move on to the next topic though. Haffley to the Dolphins.
You hate it. You think it's cool, but what's
Yes,
your letter
it's great.
grade on that?
I'll give him a B.
B?
I
On
don't
the
know.
Haffley hire
I don't know. I just know that there's.
I don't know about this one. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Former, well, not I gotta say former, but Packers fans, y'all let me know, and also Dolphin fans, how do y'all feel about this one here? I need to do my research on him.
7 or 8 other defensive coordinators that I would probably. Vance Joseph would be one.
So then you give
Brian
it
Flores would be one.
a D.
Spagnoli would be one. I'd probably talk to. There's a lot of other.
You naming a whole bunch of guys who got their shot already and failed. So
I'm just saying,
I'm not against that though. Like a coach, a good DC could have got his shot with a bad organization. We got to look at the context of the situation. Like Saleh, I'm not gonna write him off because he was with the Jets. That was a bad situation, in my opinion, because he actually built a good defense there. He's not an offensive-minded coach, but again, I think it was other stuff going on. And then same thing with Flores. They were a competitive team when Flores was there, but you know, again, I think it's other stuff that's going on. So I think we got to look at the context of the previous situation, and it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna find me a situation as a coordinator, and then I'm gonna rock it out to another option come around. But I do agree with that. You know, if you're a better DC, I think you might be a better coach. That's my opinion.
the problem. Why we still hiring guys who got their shot and failed? Let's hire somebody who we don't know.
Well,
He's a
it's
good
all-
D coordinator. Let's
being
give
a
him
head
a
coach
shot.
about developing quarterback. Who's his offensive
2K,
coordinator?
I don't
gonna
know
be?
about
That's
that
very,
one.
very important.
Huge.
Who's he going to bring? I mean,
Yeah.
very, very important. Special
Yeah.
team coordinator, strength coach.
Yeah.
You know, he must have a
What coach
plan
do I think the Cards are
in
getting?
place that I don't know about. So you
I
know,
have
being
no
a head
clue. I don't even know
coach,
who they
man, if you
really
have that
interview
good
for.
staff involved, and you have a good GM, and you guys are all on the same page, fighting in the same direction, you have a good chance. So I'm sure he's a good guy. He had a great virtual meeting, I guess, blew him away. That's important. And then he got the job. So
Who's his quarterback?
I don't know.
Who was Shanahan's
we don't
quarterback when he took over?
Well, if Cignetti go there, who is quarterback? It still
Well,
don't
fair,
matter.
but
You still
listen.
don't know.
Well, if the Raiders hired him, I know who his quarterback
Of
would be.
course, we know who the Raiders
What I'm
quarterback
saying
is.
is that's another reason you hire him. He didn't know who his quarterback was when Shanahan came in, but you know what he did? He watched how Shanahan handled that. Okay, how do you go about picking your guy? What type of offense are you going to run? All of that matters. He got experience. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He needs to know who his coordinator is. He better have a plan. That's
But
all.
what's your letter grade? We don't know any of that.
You need a good OC,
young
man.
coach.
I gave it an A. But question.
You gave Haffley an A?
Yes. Question.
Lord have mercy.
Have you
What
ever
did
had
Haffley buy
coaches?
you today?
Have you ever had
Skip
coaches
is not feeling it.
interview, like still coaching, but go through the interview process? Because I always want.
All right, he got let me put some just for the background. He got a little bit of experience. He was a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive backs coach. He's been a DB coach for a minute. What did he play? He played receiver, and he's been a DB coach. He started off as a running back coach, defensive assistant. This is weird. This is very weird. He played receiver, but is a defensive coach. Never been an offensive. Well, he's been an offensive coach once for 1 year in his coaching career. So for 25 years of him coaching, he's only coached offense once. That's interesting. Defensive assistant, defensive backs coach, defensive assistant, defensive backs coach, defensive backs coach, defensive backs coach, defensive backs coach in the NFL. So he DB's coach with the Browns, Bucks, DB's coach with the 49ers for 2 years, defensive coordinator for Ohio State and DB coach. Boston College, he was the head coach in 2020 to 2023, and then went to defensive coordinator for the Packers, and then now he's a head coach. I don't know. This is not a long enough resume for me to hire him as a head coach. Let me see what he did at Boston College. 2020 to 2023. 2020 Boston College, they was 6-5. Boston College 2021. Boston College, they were 6-6. Boston College 2022. They were 3-9. Boston College 2023. Where they at? Boston College 2023. They were 7-6. That's interesting. I don't know.
Wondered, how do they go about that? Because when you're interviewing, you got to say, okay, this is my plan. This is what y'all got. Based off what y'all got, this is what I would do. These are the coaches I'm thinking. Have you had that experience or had coaches that have been through that? And how does that go? Like
Talking about interviewing for a head coach?
Yeah, like NC, because he's doing this. They were still playing when he was.
Yeah. That's why it was virtual. I think the most important thing these owners want to know is who your staff's going to be, especially if you're
Oh, I'm muted. Mic check, mic check. How long I been muted? Oh, man. Interesting. Okay. I'm looking at the stats for the Packers. They finished 11th in scoring defense. They finished 14th in yards. Let's see turnovers. Takeaways per game. They finished. Where they at? Green Bay. They finished 25th in takeaways. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know, like resume wise. I don't know what the Dolphins saw to say he should be their next head coach.
unproven coach. You know what I mean? Not unproven. He's a good defensive coordinator, done some good things at Green Bay, but being a defensive,
I mean, Green Bay they look solid defensively this year, but like, is that enough to choose him over all of these other head coach options?
I'm the GM or the owner. I mean, who are you bringing with you? What's your plan? Who's your special team coach? Who's your line coach going to be? That's very important.
Yeah.
What's your strength and conditioning program going to look like? I mean, those are things you have to have all planned out before you get to this virtual meeting. You can't just go, I don't know yet. I'm just going to see who's available. You better have it planned out. So I'm sure you had a great plan, blew the guys away, and will be a good choice.
I know if I'm an owner I'm going to hire a guy who's up and coming, doing a good job at his offensive or defensive coordinator position, and he looks like a leader. He come into my meeting with a great plan. I'm going to hire him before I hire a guy who already done this shit and failed. Like that's just me. Like, you already got your op, you failed. I'd probably try this new guy first.
Well, there's
You know what I'm
been
saying?
situations where guys have failed and the circumstances haven't been very good, and then they've come back and had very much success. So I wouldn't just say just because you failed in one period of your life doesn't mean you're a failure moving forward. So I wouldn't judge it. It's like a defensive back or a quarterback who fails like Sam Darnold in his first couple years. Well, screw him. I'm not going to give him a chance. No, you still let the guys develop
leaves
and
cutthroat.
continue.
I'm just saying, if I got the option, I'm gonna try to hit with a McVay or Mike McDaniel. I'm gonna try to just go with a new guy who got a nice little pizzazz to him. Let me go with something fresh and brand new before I go with something that already showed me.
Belichick failed at Cleveland. He got fired. He ended up being the best coach of all time. So
Skip, you seem like you hate it. What's your letter grade?
I'll give it a C.
Okay.
But I've never loved the pipeline that the NFL clings to, where you have to take a coordinator and make him a head coach, because if he's never had any college or high school coaching experience, he has no idea what he's about to encounter. And you've been
like, it's like this. If he was a good DC for like 5 years, and he's like, this is his first time getting a head coach opportunity, then that's cool. But he had an okay defense. We could say above average defense for 1 year, and that's it. And now he's a head coach. And then he coached in college, and his college coaching record wasn't good. So I think that was a losing record in college. So I mean, I don't know. This is that's interesting.
through it both ways, coordinator and head coach. And I just don't think being an offensive coordinator, or in this case, a defensive coordinator, prepares you at all.
So
for
Mike
what's about to
McDaniel's
hit.
not prepared.
Okay, but that they hit. Every once in a while, you hit. He was the right guy, right place, right time, right team.
Same with LaFleur.
Okay?
Same with McVay.
Would he
Same
have?
with, like, we could
so
keep going down the line.
Question: Would he?
I can name about 30 of them who missed, too.
And we can name about 20 of them
Yeah.
who hit.
So
Okay.
Skip, question: Would he need to have been a head coach,
Okay,
NFL, or just a head coach?
it helps to have some experience running the outfit, running the whole show.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't think you need to be a head coach to be a head coach. I think if you're a really good coordinator, then you could be a good head coach. I'm not totally with Skip take, but I'm not totally with the Keeb take either.
College or
And
NFL,
Haffley-
because he was the head coach at Boston College.
I just said that he was, and he went 22 and 26 there and finished 6th, 6th, 7th, and 9th in the ACC. I mean, he got fired because he failed miserably as a head coach in college football. Does that translate at all? You want to know what these things always boil down to? His meeting with the owner. The owner liked him. That's what happens. They just like him, and I don't condemn him for that. Stephen Ross liked Haffley, and I was curious or intrigued that Micah did tweet about him and said, we're going to miss his energy, and I think that's what you said
That's what
about
I'm
him.
saying.
Yeah.
He had a
Yeah,
great.
he
I'm
got
telling you, I
energy.
played.
Okay.
I was in Tampa when he was there. He always had great energy.
Okay, well,
always.
I give you that. That's a plus. That can help get you over the hump of trying to step up there in front. What's the first meeting you always talk about?
Yep.
Are you going to be on your phone, or are you going to be like this? Are you going to be on the edge of your seat saying, wait a second, this guy's got something here. You know, like he knows what he speaks of, or he's commanding. There's some it factor. There's some charisma factor that Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, good OC, terrible head coach. I wouldn't call Mike McDaniel a terrible head coach. A terrible head coach is somebody that's consistently losing, you know? Like, Mike was definitely, like, you could say an above average head coach. Terrible is you were just bad at your job completely. Mike got to the playoffs. Mike had a winning record. Mike put together a good team. I wouldn't call him terrible. Where was Mike McDaniel before he was at Miami? His players didn't respect him. Offensive assistant, run game coordinator. Oh, he was the OC for the Niners in 2021. So he's the OC for 1 year. What did they do in 2021? Foreign offense, points per game. Now somebody could have been hurt. I don't know, but San Fran, they were 15th in points per game. I don't feel like deep diving into that, but yeah. He that's middle of the pack in terms of points. So, you know, again, that could kind of relate. You know, you don't really have any real experience or like, you know, long-term experience being a really good OC. He maybe had one okay year as an OC, and then, you know, I don't know. Then he was okay as a head coach. So do I think Mike is an elite head coach? No, I've never said he's an elite head coach. In terms of being like an offensive minded coach, he's up there with some of the best. But like relating this to the Haffley hire, I think, and again, I could deep dive into this. I don't feel like doing all that right now. But the 2021 49ers had mid-production offensively. The Green Bay Packers defensively, mid-production. And then they hire a head coach. They hired a guy as a head coach off of that. That's very interesting to me. At the end of the day, though, he got to get him a good OC and just coach up some good defense. But I'm still not really feeling the hire. You know, we're gonna see. Time will tell. Let's keep it pushing. Robert Saleh is next.
Has that can say Haffley's a great brother. They're going to coach. You don't want it. You're not sure, and it works. Yeah. Mike McDaniel, you can't tell me it wasn't some shot in the dark. You know, he's up and coming. He's a boy wonder.
It was.
He needs Cam Ward to develop as a starting quarterback, and they're probably still regretting right now firing Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
So we all saw what Saleh did.
I heard on the radio that John Harbaugh took the Giants job because he was promised, I guess, like a power scale. Like, he doesn't have to report to the GM to make moves. He can report to the owner. And if he didn't get promised that, he would have took the Titans job. So what that tells me is Robert Saleh is going to have some power with the Titans, assuming. And again, that makes me look back at with the Jets. I'm assuming the Jets as an organization wasn't. they didn't, you know, it was issues there, you know, and that's why he got fired, because again, he put together a good defense. So I don't feel like he was a bad coach, you know, at all. But you know what it is.
With my Niners and that injured defense, very impressed. But I personally think he's a better.
See someone hiring Gerard Mayo. We'll see. 5K. We're gonna get to the Mike Mac.
But clearly the Titans didn't see that. So Gerald, give the Titans letter grade on Robert Saleh.
I gave it a C+.
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 Okay.
The plus, I'll tell you what the plus is, Skip. All right, we're going to get there. I'll tell you what the plus, you might know. I'll tell you what the plus is. But the C is because he's been here with a top pick. Okay, he had the second overall pick when he took over the Jets. He did. Now he has the number 1 overall pick.
Yep.
So the priority is, what's the development of this guy? Now, what he has done is what he did with the 49ers with limited. They still finished 13th in scoring defense. His 3.5 years at the Jets, he still had a top 5 defense. And the Titans defense is terrible. But he didn't show that he knows how to handle bringing in the right guy to develop my young quarterback. He didn't show that. And then he moved on.
But that's fair. That's fair. He moved on because Aaron Rodgers was in free agency. He had 1 year with Zach Wilson. I don't know who the OC was. I'm not gonna blame that all on this defensive-minded head coach. And why would you not take Aaron Rodgers? It just makes sense. It didn't work out with the young guy. We bring in Aaron Rodgers. He gets to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's more of a win now move, so I can't be mad at that personally.
And may have been handicapped because now you move on from that guy because we couldn't develop him. So we bring in Aaron Rodgers. And some head coaches can't transcend certain players. So then he got handicapped there because Aaron Rodgers said, no, bring in Nathaniel Hackett. That's my guy.
Yep.
Now, I mean, are you going to be the guy that's going to say, hey, I run the show. I didn't get that feel in New York with the Jets.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they headed with this. I know they want to fix the defense, but what are you going, that don't matter if Cam Ward is still bad, because you did this before. A top 5 defense with Zach Wilson. Then you moved on like that.
Yeah.
So where is this headed? But the plus is because we get to see him and Liam Cohen beef twice a year. They had that little spat where they was about to, they was about to scrap after the game. So I'm excited to see that. But other than that, I'm just, that's the plus. I'm excited. I just want to see if that,
Saleh having $100 million to build Titans defense is insane. That's that's gonna be nice. And a coach like him who has a good resume as a defensive coordinator or as a defensive minded coach, defensive players are going to be attracted to that destination. So I trust him to turn that, especially with that amount of money, to turn that team around a little bit. Like, if they win 8 games, I wouldn't be surprised, and that'd be a good season for them, especially being in a competitive division like that.
Okay, so
whatever.
wait, Haffley was an A, but Saleh's a C+.
Because
right?
what we see
Ray
in
Jeffrey
Saleh
Simmons.
is
Yeah.
the same
Interesting.
situation.
Yeah.
We literally just see him in the same situation. We're not going to sit here and act like Tennessee has just been like, oh, this is a
They
great
won.
organization versus the Jets. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We just seen this same guy in this same situation, and it was like, man. But Haffley, we haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know if that's probably not where I would have went.
What do you boys got over here?
I'm not gonna lie, like the whole Titans can get some wide receivers. I look at Eli Ayumanor kind of how I look at Michael Wilson. Like, Michael Wilson was an under the radar guy, and I still think he's an under the radar guy, but he's a good receiver. And I think Eli Ayumanor has that level of potential. They still got Calvin Ridley coming back. I know he may not be a wide receiver 1, but I think if you want him to be your 2, that's good. And then you still got Chimere Dike. If you want him to be your 3, that's a nice number 3. But maybe you could add one really good receiver and have the rest of them as your supporting cast. That's a really nice supporting cast. I don't think they need to revamp the receiving core. I don't think they need to add a whole bunch of receivers. You could probably add one really good receiver that's going to be the number 1, and the rest of them be the supporting cast, and you good. And even if they don't, like, I think if you get a good offensive minded, like a really good OC in there, I think you can make something happen with that. Wonder if Brian Flores is going to get a job because his contract up in Minnesota. I'm pretty sure he's going to get a job, or he's going to sit back and chill, But I'm pretty sure he's going to get a job. OC Saleh 21, 22, Mike LaFleur 23, 24. LaFleur and Hackett. Bring D-Hop back? Nah. I want to see D-Hop go to San Fran, like to an established system, not to a system where he got to get in where he fit in, like something where it's like, he's gonna get the ball. Titans gonna overpay to get players. But that's what you do. Like, in order to change everything around, switch up the culture, you gotta overpay. The Patriots did it. The Patriots have done it plenty of times. The Patriots have had at least 2 off seasons in the last 5 or 10 years where they've had $100 million. The last 5 years maybe, and they just spending money. And you gotta overpay to get the players that you want in order to turn the team around from losing to winning. And if those players don't work out, you put them on 1-year contracts or heavily incentive-based contracts, and then you move on from them. But you're gonna have to do what you got to do. He's going to get wasted and buried in that wide receiver core. Well, in the San Fran wide receiver core, he would be the only receiver that would stay healthy there. So availability is the best ability. So therefore, he's reliable. So no matter who's here, we can still throw it to D-Hop. Everybody in the receiving core is consistently hurt, so he'd be straight. Ravens play Titans next year at home. No way. We lose to Cam Ward and Saleh. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's to be determined. Some coaches can come in there and turn the team around in one off season. It's not impossible. Look at Carlton Davis and Milton's contract. What they contract looking like?
Jay,
You know what? This guy brings a lot of energy.
you love all the
He's a
coaches
player's
that you
coach.
speak to
He's a
them.
player's coach, and every player who's played for him likes him. He's got that going for him. Obviously, as a head coach, he's got the job now. He's got to address, once again, how are we going to develop Cam Ward?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
I mean, what's his plan? I mean, that's all that pro football is about. You can
Yep.
have a great defense, run around, high five, hey, let's go, and run down and high step when the guys score a touchdown, but you got to have a plan in place to develop your quarterback. And what is that going to be? Who's in charge of personnel? How are we going to get people better around him? Am I making the picks? Who's the GM? Is he making the picks? It's all.
Hey, offense wins games, defense wins championships. So if you can put together a really good defense, you got a shot at the championship. If you can put together a really good offense, you got a shot at the playoffs. And if you really want to make it far, you're gonna need both. So I think for an OC that would be an attractive destination, knowing that you really it's somewhat safe, And for a newer OC, it would definitely be an attractive destination. But again, do you want to gamble on that? You kind of want somebody that's established. But I'm pretty sure they're going to give Saleh some time. They're not going to just bring him in here and fire him in a couple years. I think I'm safely assuming that they're going to give him some time. Let this whole process work out.
That has to be settled. But for God's sakes, please pick a coordinator that has only one thing in his mind, and that is to develop Cam Ward and get him better, because he is a young, talented.
If Stafford wins the bowl this year, do I think he retires? It's 50-50. That's possible.
Player, and he needs some help.
What grade is that?
That is a C+, which I would love to get every day in high school and college. I was going for C+ now, damn it. That's a good grade.
I give him a C also, man. I'm just tired of seeing the musical chairs. They act like it's 35 guys in the world who can be a head coach. We just say, he get fired, we'll get him, try him again. Let's try him again. Like, it's more than fucking 35 guys who can lead men. Simple as that, you know what I'm saying? Try somebody else who hasn't failed at this shit already. So I'm giving him a C just because he is a good defensive mind. He had a bunch of injuries. I
think that, yeah, I can't really give him too much flack for what happened in New York, but teachers I get it. I get the point that they're making. The Jets didn't go nowhere. I get it, but I'm pretty sure he didn't have full control like he will with the Titans. We're gonna move on to the next segment. I would give it a B+. All right, we got the Falcons and Stefanski.
Raheem Morris, your guy, after 2 8-9 seasons, and Atlanta hasn't made the playoffs since 2017. And they're bringing in two-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski to hopefully reverse their luck.
Yeah.
Stefanski doesn't have a lot of fans on this couch.
No.
He probably doesn't have a lot of fans in Cleveland.
Coach probably like it.
Yeah,
He probably love it.
Since he had a combined 8-26 in the last 2 seasons with the Browns, so not impressive at all. And Stefanski has given up play calling midseason in each of the past 2 seasons. So I'm a little confused on this decision, considering the talent that the Falcons have on their offense.
Yeah.
So Skip, I need to know, give the Falcons.
It wasn't Saleh's team. It was A-Rod's. I don't even think it was A-Rod's, if I'm being honest. I think there was a I wouldn't be surprised if Saleh, the GM, A-Rod, the owner, I wouldn't be surprised if everybody was just not on the same page. And you got to have everybody on the same page. I think Saleh was more so like, okay, y'all worry about the offense, I'm worried about the defense. Like that, and that's the situation, probably. And he got fired as a scapegoat because the offense didn't do good. But I'm pretty sure with A-Rod being there, he wasn't in charge of the offense. Crazy how much control Rodgers had getting his own head coach fired. I don't think he got Saleh fired. Him and Saleh got let go the same offseason. Saleh got fired and they moved on from Aaron Rodgers the same offseason. So I don't think that was Aaron Rodgers' call. And why would Aaron Rodgers want him to get fired if Aaron Rodgers had a top 5 defense? I wouldn't want that. You need a good defense as a quarterback. Who's the best graded signing recently? Harbaugh to New York. That's the best one so far. Saleh to Tennessee is the second best. By default, Stefanski would be third, and then Haffley would be fourth. But that's all who got signed so far. A-Rod and Saleh bumped heads. I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but still though, like, why would I want him to get fired if he can give me a top 5 defense? You know what I mean? And then how would Aaron Rodgers get him fired if Aaron Rodgers was going into free agency? That offseason, there was the choice for the Jets to bring him back. Aaron Rodgers wasn't under contract. They fired Saleh and they let Aaron Rodgers walk into free agency. Saleh would literally get on his knees to A-Rod. Interesting. What's up, MJ?
It's a letter grade for hiring Stefanski.
Saleh got fired mid-season. He did? Wow, that's crazy. I don't know, man. It doesn't sound. It don't sound like it just makes sense to me for that to be the scenario. Did I see what Baker tweeted about Stefanski? Nah, what he tweeted. As always, the Ravens are waiting until everyone gets signed. I mean, it's still good coaches out there. It's not like the best of the best coaches. The only coaches that got signed, 2 of them I'm not all in on, and then one of them is the coach that the Ravens fired. So there's only one that was really good that got hired. So it ain't too much crazy moving.
I'll give it a D, as in dumb, as in dud, as in don't get it, as in what did you guys just say
Don't
about
pass.
D's?
Don't pass.
Don't pass. And I'm probably being gracious to this guy because I don't like him. I don't like the way he comes across. I don't like the way he treated Baker. I don't like the way he handled Shadur. I think he's smug. I think he's arrogant. I think he thinks he's always the smartest guy in the building and in the locker room, and he wants the credit more than the quarterback should get the credit. And his strongest attribute is, for a fact, he speaks fluent owner. He's very good talking to owners. He was great with Ziggy Wilf when he was the assistant head coach in Minnesota, and very good with Jimmy Haslam, talking ball with them, making them feel like an insider, that they're inside all the biggest decisions made by the
Falcons. Kevin Stefanski had a dumpster fire at quarterback in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson failed, which started a chain reaction to 11 other starters. Shadur Sanders closed out last season with 7 starts. Under Stefanski 2020, readers added, so they got a community note. The Browns had 13 starting quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield, however, led them to an 11-5 record, the first playoff berth since 2002. Baker said, failed is quite a reach, pal. Still waiting on a text or call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach. Oh my gosh. Interesting.
the organization. And
that's interesting.
In the end, I don't, he's not the right fit or the right flavor for this town and this team. That's the problem.
Imagine he lose both games. I'm not even, bro. I'm not feeling this higher, but you know, to each his own. To each his own.
And
it's like it's 250-50. This is equivalent to hiring Jeff Haffley. You know what I mean? It's like a coach who did something okay. And again, going back to the take I had the other night when we talked about this, I believe coaches get carried by talent sometimes, you know, they get carried by talent, and again, other things could play a part. I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but I do think coaches get carried by talent, and I think that could have been possible, because outside of Deshaun Watson going down and being injured, I don't know. Like the two coach of the year seasons they had talent on that team, and it's not like they went first in the division. I don't know. Haffley and Stefanski are two different things. No, they are two different things, but I'm saying it in terms of like Haffley is a 50-50 hire, and I feel like Stefanski is a 50-50 hire. Neither one of them are home run hits on a hiring. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get. Saleh, you know what you're gonna get. John Harbaugh, you know what you're gonna get. Like Stefanski is super 50-50.
I think it'll work great if they want to break Kirk Cousins back. He's still under contract to him. He'll click with Kirk, but that's all. You know Kirk very well.
I do.
Stefanski's.
So I'm thinking we got a chance. No, Broncos definitely got a chance. I don't know how big their chance is, but they got a shot for sure.
A great fit for Kirk. But
Kirk respected me, by the way.
He did. He did, actually. Yeah.
I love Kirk Cousins.
So
fucked up.
In the end, I just hate this for the Falcons because it's going to waste all that talent that they have. And they got.
I'm sorry, man.
What's that?
I'm talking to these two.
I'm laughing at Gerald ass.
I'm laughing. What you said makes a lot of sense. I'm laughing at these two, man.
Yeah. That's it. He's just D as in dumb.
D as in dumb.
Yeah.
He is, so they are.
So explain who did Matt Ryan hire him? Is that what happened?
I guess so.
Yeah. So,
but in the end,
Interesting.
Arthur Blank hired him. I mean, it comes down to Arthur Blank.
this would
Now I'm doing predictions. Maybe in like 2 days, 2 or 3.
be a tough sales job for me if I'm an Atlanta Falcon player, right? We're
Correct.
getting rid of Raheem Morris, who again has great energy. He's great with the players.
Yeah.
Very good football coach. He was an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator.
He was.
Done a lot of great things.
I love
Okay,
him.
we're going to really improve our football team. Let's go get him, who really, if it wasn't for Jim Schwartz, they would have probably gone 0-17. You know what I mean? So is he bringing Jim Schwartz with them? Is that part of it? I don't understand the hire at all, how you can convince the players in the locker room that
Like, yes,
we are excited about
Stefanski.
2018 because we're getting this guy off of that team.
It does feel like a backwards hire. It do. Like it don't feel like they like. Again, and I'm not putting Raheem Morris on a pedestal or anything, but they finished out the season pretty well, and not only did the defensive players like Raheem Morris, the offensive players like Raheem Morris. So yeah, it feels like at least with Raheem, it looked like there was some light at the end of the tunnel. But I don't know.
With you on that retread a little bit.
There we go.
They finish out the season every time like this. But here it is. Even with some of the new additions that they added to the defense, majority of them guys are staying. You know that the offense is staying. Like the team, I can say this team looks a lot better than it did last year, for sure. So I don't know. I felt like they should have gave Raheem at least one more year. One more, and then if it don't work out next year, you get him out of there. Statistically, the best team in the NFL after they're eliminated from the playoffs. That's crazy. Does it feel like a coach is getting hired every day now? Like every other day. You got to bring Jim Schwartz. Falcons are 53-78 in games, playoff eligibility, 11-4 in games after being playoff eliminated. That is hilarious. It's 2018. That's hilarious. I feel like they should have gave Raheem Morris a extra year. Like give him an extra year and then go and hire a coach that y'all are. I can't say that though, because they had to be 100% all in on him in order to hire him. But I was about to say, go give Raheem Morris one more year. If it don't work out, then go get a coach that you all in on. But I mean, again, he got hired quick, so they were all in on him. But
I think Stefanski should have had to go back as a coordinator somewhere, and then if he got another chance, then sure, great. But based on what he did and his lack of developing quarterbacks in the Cleveland Browns organization, now they have Michael Penix, who's coming off another knee injury. He's like 3 of them now. And Kirk Cousins, who, has got to restructure his deal. Is he the guy that's going to bring the Atlanta Falcons back?
Would I be disappointed if Keaton Mitchell resigns with the Ravens? Disappointed, no, but I would like to see him go to a team that's like going to actually use him. Like that would be his choice. If he want to go back to the Ravens, that's his choice. He signed up for that at that point. He's 25, 24 years old, and he's a free agent. And he goes to sign to play behind Derrick Henry, who he knows is the lead back. He signed up for that. So I can't feel bad for him, Harbaugh from the Falcons would have been tough. That could have been cool. Malachi Tony entering the portal. Malachi Tony's entering the portal. Really?
Relativity. You got Carolina, you got Tampa Bay. It's a division that should be very competitive. But I don't understand why they would go that route. Just keep Raheem and let Raheem maybe get a new offensive coordinator. But yeah, I would have rather have them keep Raheem and hire Stefanski as offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
That part, I would have been cool with that. Like again, at least give Raheem one more year and get somebody else in there who can call plays, because the play calling was stale this year. The defense looked like, it looked like they had some potential. And I still think they got potential. Like, I think the future is bright, bro. With them young dudes that they added, and if they could take that approach this offseason to add even more to that defense could be scary in about 2-3 years.
Get rid of Raheem and do this.
Right.
Is this a D or an F?
The team ever promoted the head coach to OC or DC? I don't know about that.
You're
That's
getting rid of a
interesting.
guy with a better record than the guy you're hiring. Raheem had a better record in Atlanta than Stefanski did at Cleveland last year.
That's how my notes
So
start here.
how can you say that we're getting better?
No, yeah, and your locker room is not going to be excited. Kevin Stefanski from the Cleveland Browns.
Right. I gave it an F just because what Coach just said. Like, Ra had a better record than this guy, and we swapping them. Like, I don't get it. You had a losing record
Interesting.
your entire time in Cleveland. That's trash. You got one playoff win in your.
Do I think Kirk starts even when Mike is fully healthy? Nah. You got to roll with the young guy. If he gets hurt again, that's what Kirk is there for. That's what he's there for. It is what it is. If he gets hurt again, then you play Kirk, and then you got to start looking at drafting another quarterback at that point. Harbaugh wants to bring Zach Orr with him. Interesting.
2 playoff appearances. That's not good. You ain't been to the playoffs in the last 2 years. You ain't developed the young quarterbacks you had. Like, I thought he would be the last head coach who got fired, who immediately become a next head. Just from all the controversy you faced all year. Like, all year it was, he's not rocking with his coach, his player. Like, it was the media versus you.
Yeah.
Like, why is we bringing this guy in to save our franchise?
And didn't Atlanta have the same record as Tampa and Carolina? They lost in a tiebreaker?
Yes.
Yep.
And
So you can argue Raheem finished first, right?
You really could say he
tied for first.
He tied for first.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He tied for first. So I give it a F. They failed. Falcons failed. The season won't be no good, especially if I fuck with Kirk, but it's time to move on from Kirk. You know what I'm saying? He broke up, he hurt, he older. It's time to move on from Kirk. Now, Stefanski going to have to develop a quarterback, a young guy, or Penix or something, and you just ain't proving you can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, a waste of talent, man. Waste of talent. It's a waste of talent. The city gonna be pissed off.
Yeah.
A W. It's my grade.
A W?
W. Why?
Oh, usually W.
Okay. We can keep pushing to the next topic. They all on the same page about that one. Jarrett Stidham can beat. So they talk about the Broncos. All right, this last topic, and then we moving on to Speak Easy. We are at an hour, and this show itself was about it was 3.5 hours. Let's take away the football. So I kind of did majority of it. All right,
Injury on his ankle.
not majority, but
that doesn't mean Bronco Country is giving up. So
did a good amount.
Stidham has now only started in 4 games in his entire career. None of them even close to the magnitude of this game that's going to be this weekend. But another former back.
You know what? I'm not even. I'm not watching this one. I just watched them talk about Stidham yesterday. Actually, they did just talk about Stidham. Here we go.
Derek White can shoot the
Has Steph Curry won his last ring in Golden State? Hey, do you think Steph ever leaves Golden State? I don't think he does. Or does Golden State ever bring in somebody good enough to play with Steph?
Easy T.
Nah, he gangsta Trey.
Gangsta Trey.
I
like that, TJ. You know,
Gangsta
real
Trey.
recognize real. You
Yeah.
looking kind of familiar right now, my
Gangsta
guy. You
Trey.
feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what you saying, man?
Texas, please win a natty next year, dog. Please.
Don't let us go back to back. Oh, I'ma really be cutting up.
Imagine if Indiana became a football school.
They are. They're more of
Hey.
a football school than they are a basketball school right now.
Yeah, facts.
In your college days, you wouldn't go to IU right now?
It's still in Indiana.
It's in Bloomington, Indiana, brother. Have you
But
been
you'll
to the
go to
South?
Cleveland and
All right, let's see what the first topic is.
Bloomington, Indiana, brother. Have you
but
been
you'll
to the
go to
South?
Cleveland and
Not by choice.
And Kate for Kevin. Never mind. Go ahead, Kevin. That's all you, bro. I ain't got
That
nothing
might
else
be
to
an
say,
Acho
man.
question, not me. Look, we have a lot to get to today. The top of the show, Acho, you mentioned Herbert and help.
sir.
He just got more help, and TJ called it a week ago. Mike McDaniel is heading to the Los Angeles Chargers. He is now going with the number 5 overall pick in the 2020 draft, Tua Tagovailoa, to working with the number 6 overall pick in that same draft, Justin Herbert. The question for you guys is, though, can Mike McDaniel get Justin Herbert to a Super Bowl?
If McDaniel can do it, nobody can. Let's be real.
I think I low key think Mike McDaniel did this to be petty, just to stay in the division. Low key, like it's a good situation. Not gonna lie, I think it's both things. It's a little bit of pettiness, and it's a good situation. You get to go from Tua to Justin Herbert. That's kind of nice, man. I ain't gonna lie, kind of nice. The Chargers are going to look like a much better offense. Now, if you're Keenan Allen, you probably want to get up out of there because again, he only uses wide receiver 1 and 2, and I'm assuming that Keenan kind of plays in a slot. They don't really use a slot. He don't really use a slot guy heavy. He uses a tight end a little bit more, but maybe he'll grow. Maybe we'll see a little bit more different, or see him utilize that a little bit more. But it's definitely an upgrade. This is the best offensive coordinator that Justin Herbert has had in his career. So we might see 5K Justin come back. We might see that. It's the West. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay. Excuse me. All right, I'll take the petty part back. It's a good situation though. Nonetheless, it's a good situation. This is for sure the best offense coordinator that Justin Herbert has had. So I think definitely an upgrade.
Justin Herbert, this is it. If Mike McDaniel can't do it, it's on you. Greg Roman wasn't enough. That's fine. Got Colin Kaepernick to a Super Bowl. Got Lamar Jackson the unanimous MVP, but Greg Roman's not good enough. That's fine. Kellen Moore couldn't do it. That's fine.
He said I'm gonna edit that out. No, I'm leaving it in. It's all good.
And Kellen Moore got Jalen Hurts the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP, and you saw what the Eagles were without Kellen Moore, but Kellen Moore couldn't do it. That's fine. Shane Steichen, albeit, was with you your rookie year, and he helped you have a phenomenal rookie year. But if Mike McDaniel can't do it, Justin Herbert, nobody can. How many more offensive minds must the Chargers run through until they find the right one? Mike McDaniel is a top 5 offensive mind in the game of football. We saw what Mike McDaniel was doing when he was with the San Francisco 49ers and he was the offensive mind. Debo Samuel told me, it was off the record, but it is what it is. If he cusses me out, he already hates me. Debo Samuel came up and told me one time, he said, hey, y'all think it's Shanahan? He said, the secret McDaniel. This is coming off of Debo Samuel's 2021 All-Pro season. He was like, Acho, you be giving all this credit to Shanahan. McDaniel the guy to make this thing go. I respect it. Think about what McDaniel did with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Think about what McDaniel did with Devon Achane. So if you are a Chargers fan, a Herbert fan, this is a match made in heaven. It does not get.
That's what I'm really curious about, how Devon Achane is gonna look next year. Like, he a good running back, explosive running back, arguable top 10 running back for sure. But with a new OC, I'm wondering if he's gonna get spammed as much as he did with McDaniel.
Any better than this? Mike McDaniel, top 5 offensive mind. Justin Herbert, as it pertains to talent, top 5 quarterback. As it pertains to physical tools, you take this top 5 offensive mind and this.
If Mike doesn't help Herbert, then what? There is absolutely zero chance that Mike is worse than Greg Roman, which, by proof of Mike being an offensive coordinator and making having Tua Tagovailoa have an elite season in the NFL as a quarterback, there's no way he's going to be worse than Greg Roman. It's however they lose in the playoffs next year is to be determined. Whether Mike's play calling gets repetitive in crunch time, or whether it's the defense gives up, I don't know. But we're gonna see when that time comes. But as of right now, that's a little too far to predict. But this is for sure by far the best OC that Justin Herbert has had.
Top 5 quarterback, it better yield top
playoffs.
5
we'll
results. It better yield top 5 results. Because at this point, T, and y'all know me, I'm passionate about this Herbert stuff. Drop your super chats if you want us to talk back.
Herbert has Steichen and Kellen Moore. What year was that? Shane Steichen. Well, first, let me pull up Herbert's. Like we could say Herbert's best year was that year he threw for 5K. I think that was his second year though. His rookie year and 2023. So his rookie year. Oh my gosh, I got so many pop-up ads on here. His rookie year was really good. And then 2023, he was injured. So, I mean, I give him a pass. This is pretty good, though. 20 touchdowns, 7 picks. We'll see. What year? Let me see. 2020. What year was Steichen the coordinator? I like Kellen Moore. I think you can have an argument is Kellen Moore over Kellen Moore and Mike McDaniel. You can easily make that that's debatable. Ravens trade Bateman in a second and a third. Interesting, very interesting. Shane Steichen. Where's he at right now? Shane Steichen. He's the head coach of the Colts. Interesting. And he's been offensive coordinator for the Eagles for 1 year. Man, the Chargers. Interesting. Okay. Again, I think an argument can be made. You could argue is Mike a better OC than either one of those guys, but all of them good offensive minds at the moment for sure. We can say that.
At this point, T, we tried the run-based offensive coach in Greg Roman. And do y'all understand? Jim Harbaugh had to divorce maybe.
All right, we can say the years that Herbert has been to the playoffs. Let's say that. I don't know what the expectation is next year. I mean, expectation would be to go back to the playoffs because they went to the playoffs 2 years in a row now. Hola, señor Alon, ¿cómo estás? Bien, ¿y tú? Of the years that Herbert has went to the playoffs, and we would assume that they make it back to the playoffs next year. Safely assuming this would be the best coordinator he's had with a playoff roster, I guess. Potential playoff roster. Well, I reached 200 by the end of the stream. Sounds good. Since when did
his best friend for you, Herbert? Jim Harbaugh and Greg Roman go back about 20 years. They've been to Super Bowls together, NFC championships together. Jim Harbaugh had to divorce his best friend in Greg Roman.
Bro, not Acho defending Greg Roman. To each his own on that. Acho's really he can make a case for anybody, which you can, but it's like he kind of reaching a little bit.
For you, Herbert, jobs have been lost for you, Herbert. So at this point in time, Herbert, if it's not Mike McDaniel, it's on Justin Herbert. Because the other thing is that defense is like that. We were with Derwin James a week ago today. We was with Derwin James a week ago today. My main question, hey, bro, how you feel? He said, never better. Oh, snap. Say less. Still playing at a high level. I voted him second team All-Pro. Still playing at a high level. So that defense is like that. Herbert's out of excuses, G.
I'm not going to take it that far and put all that pressure on Herbert. And I'm going to tell you why.
I hate this man.
I'm going to tell you why. Mike McDaniel,
no, he been real.
Because last week, it wasn't even a topic. And I just brought it up, and I said McDaniel is a perfect fit for the Chargers.
Yep. Yo hablas muy poquito.
For them. You guys are welcome. The Chargers, I love y'all. Y'all know I do too. But they may lose Jesse Minter. If they lose Jesse Minter, that's going to be a blow to their defense.
Yeah.
That's going to be a blow to because the defense.
I forgot he's still in this coaching pool.
The reason the Chargers were so successful. And so
that's funny.
To me, this is a match made in heaven for Herbert. You get an offensive coordinator that really knows what he's doing. And more than anything, because I've already talked to guys with the Chargers, offensive side of the ball, already on my drive here.
Harbaugh had Colin Kaepernick as his quarterback in San Fran and made the Super Bowl. Bro, that defense in San Fran was nasty, though. I'm not going to lie. I think that's a totally. I don't know who the OC was at that point in time, but that's a totally different situation. I can't really compare those two for real.
They couldn't stop laughing and excited about this hire. When you're a player and you're excited about a coaching hire, you're gonna give it your all. And so it's gonna be total buy-in from everybody on the offensive side of the ball. Every play, every concept he puts in, it ain't gonna be no, I don't like. They all gonna be so accepting of everything that McDaniel is doing. That right there is gonna make them better.
Yeah.
Now you're right to a certain extent. Herbert gonna have to do his part.
Please.
Now, win a Super Bowl first year out, that's kind of
Not necessarily.
That's kind of, but
Can we win a playoff game?
yes.
Because we ain't done that yet.
No.
Can we win a playoff game?
I think again, context gonna matter once they get to the playoffs. Let's say the Texans defense is just as good next year as they are this year. Are we gonna fault them for losing to an elite defense? You know what I mean? Now let's say they go against somebody that's mid, or I think it's gonna be contextual in terms of who we're blaming. But in terms of this being a good hire, 100%, this is one of the best fits so far that we've seen of this offseason coaching hires. You get again a guy who needs a good OC and who has needed a good OC finally gets one. So I'm all in on this one here. We're gonna fast forward a little bit in this topic.
Roy Jones Jr. over 22 years ago.
What excuses you got now?
Let's go ahead and take a look at this clip because this is what the entire NFL is looking at Justin Herbert like. They're asking him right now, man, hey, any excuses tonight? Any excuses tonight, Roy? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but yeah. They're asking him if there's any excuses tonight because thus far in Justin Herbert's NFL career, he has been this. He has been if, man.
Damn.
If I had a healthy offensive line this year, if I had a better play caller,
But that's always valid though. That's always valid, because we like the talent is there, but we've clearly seen that other quarterbacks and other players have had certain advantages that he hasn't had in terms of whether they be personnel roster wise or coaching or both, But he's definitely a talented player.
my defense was better, if maybe some of these passes that got tipped weren't interceptions, brother, it's time for you to start playing. We get that. What Cam Newton say? We get that grace to young players.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be our number one, and you're playing like a bum. I bet you better start doing your job. Yeah, that's it. That's what we're on right now. That's what we're on right now with Justin Herbert. Brother, you have one of the most innovative play callers in all of football.
Bro.
When he was with the San Francisco 49ers, that run game was not only fun, it was explosive.
Yes.
You now have a young running back that actually turned it on.
Hold on.
Right now. That's what we're on right now with Justin Herbert. Brother, you have one of the most innovative play callers in all of football.
Bro.
When he was with the San Francisco 49ers, that run game was not only fun, it was explosive.
Yes.
You now have a young running back that actually turned it on whenever he came back from injury in Marion Hampton. You have Joe Alt, Rashawn Slater, Mekhi Becton coming back next season, and one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. Brothers and sisters, it's time for Justin.
Mekhi Becton was there this year. Come on.
He was, but he was. Look. Give him some tackles. We saw what he could be last year though too. 1 year's not changing a lot.
Y'all got to remember, who the hell is Raheem Mostert? It's my dog. But who the hell is Raheem Mostert?
Exactly.
Raheem Mostert led the NFL in touchdowns 2 years ago under Mike McDaniel at age 30. At age 31.
He forgot.
At age 31. My bad. I was saying, who the hell is Raheem Mostert? Raheem Mostert at age 31 under Mike McDaniel helped the.
I don't think Raheem a bum though. Like, he's a good running back. It's just you get aged out. Like, that's just the NFL. You will get aged out. They want the younger guy. They want the guy that they drafted high. It does not matter how good you are. If they want to improve, they're gonna go with the guy who's younger.
Chargers helped the Dolphins lead the NFL in rushing touchdowns, bro. So here's what we know: the run game gonna go crazy because Mike McDaniel gonna make sure run game gonna go crazy.
Who are you drafting?
If you're the Chargers,
first, second pick, first round.
If you're the Chargers, you need O-line. I'm gonna be honest, bro. You need O-line. Now, I get that they starters were out, like some of their starters were out, but like, I don't know, man. You need. I'm assuming something up there. Other guys who weren't out, you know, I don't know. They got to figure something out.
Second round pick. Who do you?
How confident is Mike McDaniel in Quentin Johnson? If we believe that Quentin Johnson has taken a step and is getting better,
I don't think they need to draft a receiver. Not first or second round. You got QJ. Maybe you bring Keenan Allen back. I don't know. Maybe you don't. You got Trey Harris. You got Ladd. You don't need to go first or second round receiver. You can get you a starting receiver, like get you a sleeper in like the third or the fourth round, if you want to go that route. But first or second round pick, that's not their biggest need at all.
And we believe in Ladd McConkey, then I might take a wideout in the second round. You feel me?
As a free agency.
If Quentin Johnson is getting better, there's no need to go run and chase a wideout in the first round. And you don't need to chase a wideout because you have Ladd as well. So now you got your X and you got your slot receiver. We're good there. Running back, you took a first-round pick in Omarion Hampton last year. You're great there. You took a first-round pick and tackle 2 years ago. You took a first-round pick and tackle 4 years ago. You're good there. Mekhi Becton, you're good there. Yeah. So realistically, if I can't keep Odafe away, I need a pass rusher. Because Khalil Mack is 33, if I'm not mistaken. So if I can't retain Odafe away, gonna be hard to do. He finished the season with 10.5 sacks if you count the playoff game in the last 8 games. If I can't retain Odafe away,
yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Strengthen that defense. Just focus on O-line and defense. That's it, really. I mean, you got running backs. I don't know if Kamani is gonna be a free agent, but if he is, I mean, you could probably keep him on a cheap contract unless he goes somewhere else and plays for more money. But you can keep him on a cheap contract. You still got Omarion. He's your RB1. And you got a good receiving core. You got Arondé Gadsden at tight end. That's it. Mike McDaniel brought in Darren Waller for a reason. That's the same type. That's the same like prototype of tight end. You know, a big guy who can run routes. You know, I think he got a little more wiggle to him than Darren Waller. So I think, that offense definitely fits what Mike McDaniel I think will want to do. They just need to upgrade the defense, upgrade the O-line. And the best way to hide offensive line deficiencies is have a quick game, because the O-line is going to get pushed in because of again, they're bad, they can't block. But if you have a quick game and you're getting the ball out quick, that negates the pass rushers getting to you. If you take them too long and having all these long developing routes, your quarterback's going to get sacked. And Mike McDaniel is one of the best in terms of having a quick game. So that's going to help some of the O-line deficiencies as well. Manifesting it. They definitely do got to use Trey Harris more going into next year. So Keenan Allen might not be there next year, respectfully. You just go with the young guys, and it's not that I think Keenan can't play. I think Keenan can still play at a high level. It's just, again, that's just what it is. You go with that's the league. Do I think the NFL will expand the season to 18 games and give teams 2 bye weeks? No, I think they will expand. Like, if they expand the games to 18, they'll probably just give them additional roster spots. They'll probably bump the roster spots maybe to 2 or 3 more spots, but I don't know for sure or how that will work.
Way I need a pass rusher, and truth be told, I'd like a linebacker. Like I'd like a legitimate
Even though you have
Deion Henley is nice. Denzel Perryman cool too. So I mean, I mean, like if it's a guy like that at that point in the draft who he's just like that, yeah, you take him and start him over Denzel Perryman. But I don't know, like I don't know Perriman's contract situation, but like I don't think they need another linebacker right now.
Henley,
nice. You got Henley, and you got number 6 and number 0. I forget which one is which. I just know them by numbers because I'll be watching the tape. So like, or when I think about the Chargers, there isn't like their defensive backs play really well together,
but there's nobody. That guy. Mansour, LSU.
That's right.
I think they can go get a safety because Derwin James plays in the box all day, so you can probably go safety or maybe add some depth to the D line. You know, I don't know who their safeties is off top of the head.
Mansour Delane. Yep.
Mansour Delane.
Hey, hold on now. Hold on. I'm trying to get him to Dallas. Let's relax.
Like, if you're the Chargers,
and he gonna run fast.
If you're the Chargers, edge rusher or cornerback, or it's probably who you're taking in the first round because linebacker, you just don't need that kind of value. But
Dante played really good this year. Cam Hart played well, so I don't know about corner. If you can re-sign Dante, I'm not going corner first round because you have your starting corners at that point. I don't think Cam played bad enough to say we want to replace him and let's go first round and get it and jump Cam. You know, unless you get in a slot corner maybe. But again, Derwin James just made first team All Pro at slot corner or second team. He made All Pro at slot corner, so I don't know about that. I'd probably go safety or again maybe D line or O line. I don't know. They really don't need a lot. That's actually crazy,
bro. Mike McDaniel. You got the quarterback, you got the running back, you got the offensive line. And if Quentin Johnson is taking that next step, you got the receiver group. The question then becomes, who's the burner? Because they like having a burner or...
McDaniel's offense at least.
Yep.
You have
QJ low-key was their burner this year.
On these routes if you want to thread. We got Buddy here waiting for you.
Correct. I don't know if they have that guy.
But if they think Quentin Johnson's supposed to be that guy.
But he's not a burner.
Then...
He was the deep threat this year, not gonna lie. I get he's not a 4-3 guy, but he definitely played that role very well this year.
You have to draft.
He's not Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill.
Then because McDaniel's offense, at least will he change it? Lad gonna fit right in.
Yes, sir.
Now, can Quentin get in and out them breaks like he needs to?
That's the question.
Can he get in and out them breaks?
Because Shanahan and McDaniel do not like those Quentin Johnson type of receivers. Those big can get jammed up in press, aren't really good after the catch. Like they like those like.
He's good after the catch. I'm not gonna speak to him getting jammed up in press. I didn't see that much this season. Juwan Jennings is a big receiver, and Shanahan got him. So, bro, low key, QJ is like at least how he played this year. He kind of played like a faster version of Juwan Jennings. Low key.
In and out.
Puka and Fred have a podcast. No, I haven't seen that. It's Ja was here. I don't know if he's still here.
Pearsalls, Ayuk's, young Deebo Samuels, Jalen Waddles, Tyreek Hills.
And you just got to go get coached up right. You can do it. He got the talent to do it. You just got to go do it. He can do it. Like he's quick enough. He can do it. It's just.
Well, the other good thing is Quentin Johnson had such a good season this year. In perspective, his trade value probably couldn't be higher. And he was a first-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. You're probably not going to pick up his fifth-year option if you're thinking down the line, because that fifth-year option for wide receivers is way too costly as it pertains to the value of a wideout.
They drafted the receiver last year in the second round, Trey Harris from Ole Miss. That didn't play.
You definitely pick up QJ's fifth-year option. I don't see why not. Genuinely, I don't see why not. Unless you're going to ink him to a long-term deal right now, and you lowball him right now just because he's coming off of one good year. Because if you do that fifth-year option and he has another year back-to-back and he solidifies that he's a good receiver now, then you have to pay him even more. So low-key, it would make sense to just try to get him on give him a nice contract, but also make it nicely incentive based, to where it's not you're not really gonna overpay, especially if he does regress a little bit. But I think you extend QJ right now, like do it now before it gets too late.
Much because they signed
Texans draft any quarterbacks. Nah, we good on that. They need to get a good OC in there. Definitely need to get a good OC in there. I don't want to run it back with this OC. Like if we got to, we got to. Like, let's say the better OCs get hired, and I haven't heard nothing about Bro getting fired. And you know, again, I'm not really trying to advocate for that. You know, I don't want anybody losing their job, but you know, just the reality of it. I wouldn't mind a better OC. 5th round quarterback. Nah, cause we got Davis Mills. So like, if we didn't have a good backup, I'd be like, yeah, let's go get a sleeper quarterback. But Davis, he a reliable backup, so I ain't really too worried.
Keenan Allen late.
Yep.
They have pieces on offense. This O-line can stay healthy, and Mansour he'll be gone before the Chargers pick anyway.
Damn right he will.
But this, if they keep Mentor, what coaching staff is better than this?
If you're Mentor,
what coaching staff? I'm staying.
It's one of the better coaching staffs.
If you
in the
can't
league.
get the Ravens or the Bills,
That's
if you
a good
cannot
take.
get the Ravens
It's a really good
or
take.
the Bills job, why wouldn't you stay?
That's the really good take is if they keep Mentor, what coaching staff is better than this? That is a phenomenal take. I mean, I'm gonna push back. I think
I'm curious who is going to pick up whoever pick up Chambliss is going to be interesting. That's going to be super interesting. Mentor can easily get the Ravens job. This stuff is unpredictable. I'm not going to lie. These coaching hires definitely unpredictable. But we'll see. I know it won't happen, but I wish the Pats would bring in Kyle Pitts. Yeah, I just think that would be an unnecessary addition, knowing that y'all tight ends were productive this year. And if they're not going into free agency, it wouldn't make sense to bring in another tight end, like realistically. It's just that it would be y'all be wasting money at that point.
the coaching staffs, unfortunately, I love this show. Shout out to y'all for watching. Shout out to what do they call it? The Speakies? No, the regulars.
The regulars.
Shout out to the regulars.
The regulars.
Is the coaching staffs that are better are probably in the division. Andy Reid and what's our defensive coordinator's name?
Spagnuolo.
Spagnuolo.
And
Sean
then it's got
Payton.
No, but we going on 3.
Yeah, Bieniemy
We
is
want
now the
all
OC
three.
for
Head
the
coach.
Chiefs.
They in a 12th season. In that situation, you just draft the tight end in the later rounds and you hope you hit on him, because there's no point. Again, even if they're in a 12th season, they can be in a 15th season. If they're still playing at a high level, it just doesn't make sense to sign a free agent over them. I could see drafting though. You could spend a 3rd, 4th round pick on a tight end and get you a starting caliber tight end in the 3rd or 4th round. So you don't have to. I wouldn't spend big money on a free agent, and then you could work him in the system rather than just boom. Just put him in there and you're the starter and we paying you all this money even though we already have a starting tight end. You know what I mean? Garner and Arroyo situation. They got a little good situation going on over there though. I think it's not too bad. Garner's productive. Arroyo's productive when targeted. Really want Pons and Mansour. I look forward to looking at DBs.
OCDC.
But I'm saying offensive mind / play caller and DC.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Gotcha.
Andy Reid, offensive mind play caller,
Okay.
Spags.
Okay.
Sean Payton, offensive mind play caller, Vance Joseph.
But-
and minimum now, they have enough
I
to
really
compete.
think with Harbaugh, he's gonna give McDaniel some nuggets that's gonna help him in his coaching. Harbaugh done been around football his entire life.
Yeah. Never been around a McDaniel, though. That's what's crazy.
He's gonna give him some nuggets that's going to help him, and vice versa. But because Harbaugh being a lifer, McDaniel's a lot younger. He's gonna give him some nuggets. If I'm Mentor and I can't get the Ravens or the Bills, why would I take any of them other
Can I
jobs?
say this,
Why would
T?
I? Something else gonna come open next year.
If Herbert can't win with McDaniel, and by win respectfully, I mean win it all. If Herbert can't win it all with McDaniel at this age, I don't know who he can win it all with. Jalen Hurts.
Bro, this is not a questioning Justin Herbert thing though, because I think Acho is giving Greg Roman way too much credit, in my opinion. I just think that's what it is. Again, a quarterback, we're gonna see them go off script and make wild plays and dumb plays and make bad throws sometimes because the offense is not. There is no flow. There is no rhythm. So they're gonna do uncharacteristic things, or they're gonna try to force stuff in certain windows because they just going off of their own judgment because they don't trust the play calling. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's a scenario with Justin Herbert. But we just haven't seen great play calling from Greg Roman. And so, and even this year, though, I don't feel like Herbert played bad this year. The O-line was terrible. And the play calling was not great. You know, watching the film, nothing. It was rarely anything open besides checkdowns. You know, it was a bunch of 50-50 balls, you know. So, I think he giving Greg Roman a little too much credit.
He needed Kellen Moore to be able to win it all. Now, in some of it, to be able to win it all. Shout out to the Eagles.
But that's fair, though. You need a good OC to win it all. Like, you can say that with any quarterback. You need a good offensive play caller in order to win a championship. In general, you're not going to get there with somebody who's mid. Or you're not going to win it all with somebody who's mid, I'll say. Unless you have a historically great defense. Or you know, something along them lines, or you got enough historically great players on that team to carry a deficiency like that.
Offensive line staying healthy. Shout out to Saquon Barkley. But he needed Kellen Moore to be able to win it.
James Conner retired first.
Without Kellen Moore, won a lot of games, not all of it. If you can't win it all, year 6, now he grown. Now Herbert a full-grown German Shepherd, maybe even year 7. Like, he's hitting his athletic peak. So if you can't win it all with this offensive mind, ain't gonna be a bunch of Mike McDaniels running around to be OC. Because Mike McDaniels are head coach.
He has to for sure win a playoff game. Because if he does that, McDaniels is gone.
Mm-hmm.
McDaniels is gone. McDaniels is gonna be one and done.
Yeah.
McDaniels is gonna be one and done.
Yeah.
And McDaniels knows there's gonna be some openings with some top teams, and I'm gonna position myself right there. I'm positioning myself right there. I'm with one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I think this is the bro, Minter, if you can't get the Ravens or the Bills, you better stay your ass where you at.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be greater later.
Correct.
It's going to be greater later.
Well said.
Yeah,
man,
I don't want to go take the
fascinating,
Cardinals
bro.
job or something like that.
Hell
yeah,
no.
Exactly.
He said we didn't lose the first Super Bowl Jalen went to because of OC. What do you mean by that? What you referring to?
What's up with these super chats, Social Trade? What's up with them?
Okay. So they on the super chats. Let's see the next topic. So they still on the McDaniel
Almost make the
conversation.
tackle. Talanoa Hufanga. He busts on the coverage. He doesn't blitz. Too much more time.
You know, they definitely get busy on that side.
Where we at, Care Bear?
Look, man, we talked about Mike McDaniel. The Bucs and the Eagles both pursued Mike McDaniel as their potential offensive coordinator target. The Bucs were especially diligent in their courtship of Mike McDaniel.
I just said we needed Kellen Moore to win the Super Bowl. He didn't say the Eagles. He said Justin Herbert needed Kellen Moore.
Daniel, as this tweet says, I would have never said courtship otherwise. But we had this quote tweet from Dan Snyder where he said McDaniels.
He said Jalen did. I could have sworn I heard Justin. Maybe you're right. The last one. Dyken caught a QB draw in 4th and 7, and Jalen bailed him out in the Super Bowl. Interesting. Got you. Wasn't you just vouching for Steichen?
Chose to coach Herbert over Hurts, huh? Despite the Eagles having a better O-line, a better running back, the best O-line coach in football, and 2 elite wide receivers. Oh yeah, you don't say? I'm just happy to keep him out of the NFC East.
That is interesting. That is interesting. He went to the Chargers over the Eagles. That is interesting. But earlier, dude, you said that the Eagles didn't interview him at all, right? So I still stand by Hurts was the sole reason we even in that game. That's interesting. So well, I guess that may be the scenario since the Eagles didn't interview him, but that would have been a perfect situation for him to go to. But you know, at the end of the day, the Chargers still not a bad situation. If we're being honest.
Fellas, do you guys think
Very good situation.
with this Mike McDaniel move to the Chargers that these coaches are looking at the Eagles as a bad OC job?
Heck no. Heck no. If the Eagles didn't interview him, then I could see why he didn't take the job, obviously, because they didn't interview him. But there's absolutely zero way that you can look at the Eagles and say that's a bad OC job.
Mike McDaniel taking the Chargers job is a huge indictment on just Jalen Hurts. Mike McDaniel taking the Chargers OC job, huge indictment on Jalen Hurts.
You can for sure make an argument, and not even make an argument. You can for sure say that Justin Herbert is more talented than Jalen Hurts. But Jalen is not like that. That offense is too good to want to pass up. I don't think you willingly say, yeah, I'm gonna just not take this job. Like it's too good of a situation, too good of a position to be in, where it's an easy coast to another good job, you know.
Because if you're an offensive coordinator and you want to get a head coaching job instantaneously, the Eagles are the surest path. The Chargers OC just got fired. He ain't finna get no head coaching job. Kellen Moore, head coaching job. Shane Steichen, head coaching job. So if you trust your ability as an offensive coordinator, not Brian Johnson, not Kevin Patullo, then the Eagles are a feeder system to a head coaching job. So why the hell would you not want to go coach the best offensive roster in football? Why the hell would you not want to go be a coach on a team where you have seen 2 OCs in the last 5 years?
Good ball. What's good, Birdie? Yeah, it's all good though. Next year gonna be better for sure. But it's all good.
Get head coaching jobs. If you desire to get another head coaching job, Mike McDaniel, the only reason that I could suggest is if you have questions or concerns about how you will be limited based upon the quarterback.
Now let's say he'd actually got interviewed by the Eagles and he chose the Eagles over. I mean, he chose the Chargers over the Eagles. He got interviewed by both. That would be that. Safely assuming that would be the only deciding factor to me. Well, I'm not gonna say the only. It could be a multitude of other deciding factors, but I could see, you know, that being a thing. Or I just like Justin Herbert more than I like Jalen Hurts, so I'm gonna just go this route. You know, it's not like the Chargers don't have talent on offense. You know, and it's just Justin Herbert by himself. So you still got stuff to work with, but I do think the Eagles are closer to a Super Bowl than the Chargers are. So it would just ideally make sense to go and take that Eagles job, because you're just gonna look so much better. But I mean, it is what it is. That's just a if.
That's the only thing I would suggest, because why would you not want to go?
Wow, D'Amico said he doesn't know if Mixon will play at all in 2026. Wow, so Mixon, if you don't know how old is your Mixon, he might be out the league soon. For an injury to take him out, a foot injury to take him out for 2 years, you know, sometimes stuff like that just happens. You know, players get injured, and you know he's 29. That would be unfortunate. Wow, man, that's unfortunate. Sometimes it literally just plays out like that. Like I've seen that, you know, with multiple players' careers. You know, I want to see them play, but they, like, whatever injuries that they have going on, you know, they just kind of silently go out the league. Hopefully that's not the case, but you know, it is what it is. But it's a huge running back market this year, so it's a lot of running backs out there. And the draft, Mike and Fangio hate each other, which is another reason he probably didn't want to come. Maybe that's why they didn't interview him. I don't know. I think he liked Woody, but I don't think. Oh, everybody like Woody. I think everybody who a Texans fan like Woody, but I'm not over infatuated by like what Woody did this year. Like I don't think Woody is an elite talent at the running back position. Like I think we can get a better running back, and it won't be expensive. You know, so we can upgrade without it being expensive and still keep Woody on the roster. So hope Mixon has another chance. I hope so too, but we'll see, man. We'll see.
Go coach Saquon Barkley. Why would you not want to go coach Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown? You still got some good years in Dallas Goedert. Why would you not want to go have maybe the best tackle combination, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson out there protecting your quarterback? Why not? Why would you not want to go be a coach on a team where your defense is going to be top 5 annually and they're not losing any players in this coming year? Why not? Somebody who has to tell me, why would you not want to go coach that team? Unless the person that dictates your success as an offensive coordinator, you have questions about. It's Jalen. That's the only thing that I can deduce, T, as somebody who's been inside locker rooms and outside locker rooms. That's the only.
It could be a multitude of factors. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this topic because, again, I if they didn't interview him, then there's a reason why they didn't interview him, and maybe he just got some. It could have to do with I don't know, but it wasn't in his control to even choose the Eagles if he didn't get interviewed. So, of course, the Eagles is not a bad OC job. That's probably the best OC situation.
What it is, Dallas, if you know, you know. Falcons, Kevin Stefanski had a dumpster fire at quarterback in Cleveland. Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson failed, which started a chain reaction to 11 other starters. Shador Sanders closed out last season with 7 starts. Baker Mayfield saw this article, took exception, quote tweeted it and said, "Failed is quite the reach, pal. Still waiting on a text/call from him after I got shipped off like a piece of garbage. Dang. Can't wait to see you twice a year, coach." Do you guys think, because I'm not going to lie, one Emmanuel Acho will be eating some crow in this segment. And also, do you guys think that Baker Mayfield was out of line for these comments?
Hell to the no.
To
the no. No, I love what Baker said for several reasons. I think oftentimes fans think players are mad when they get cut. Let me tell you my most passionate story in the NFL. Turn your volumes up. Players aren't mad for inherently getting cut. Players are mad for getting lied to or disrespected. I got cut 5 times by the age of 25. Philadelphia Eagles, they trade for me when Chip Kelly gets there from the Cleveland Browns. I'm in Philly. I got cut, T, my second year in the league. Got cut maybe twice my third year in the league. Finally, I get cut on the Tuesday before a Thanksgiving game. We're playing the Detroit Lions. It's 2015. Chip Kelly calls me.
He a Cowboys fan. I think he had like a media thing with the Rams, and I think they gave him a free jersey, so I think he just be rocking the jersey. And I think their show is in LA, so he probably live in LA, so he just be, I guess, repping the team. I guess, I don't know. I read something that Mixon has surgery for somebody not assigned to do it, and apparently there's less blood flow to the foot after a procedure. So I hope his career. Yeah, that's what I read that somewhere earlier in the season too. That he had the surgery by somebody that wasn't a team doctor or wasn't assigned by the team, and it just hasn't done very well or something along them lines. Hart still haven't said what Nola injured. Oh wow.
Into the office, he says, "Hey, Ach. Hey, I just got to elevate this practice squad player. Going to release you. We're going to sign you right back right after the game, assuming all goes well. Go enjoy an early Thanksgiving vacation." I'm a vet at this point. So when you used to get cut as a young bull, okay, coach, whatever. Now I'm asking the questions. So you're saying you're going to bring me right back, assuming everything is normal. Gotcha, Ach. So now, T, I'm in Cali. I'm staying with a friend, a teammate on the Eagles. I'm in Cali watching the Thanksgiving game, making sure nobody gets injured so nothing crazy happens. Nobody gets injured. Monday comes around, wait for my call. See if Chip called me. He gonna call me Tuesday. Tuesday come around, let me see if Chip called me. You know he busy. He gonna call me on Wednesday. I never heard from Chip Kelly again. Ever. We end up on the same set at ESPN one time. And Mac Brown was there, Chip's there. We're both doing a college football show. Booger McFarland heard that Chip Kelly cut me. Booger gonna ask, "Hey, Chip, why the hell you do my guy Acho like that?" Chip's face, bright red, like a tomato. True story. I love what Baker said, because Baker, it worked out for Baker.
Oh, you got to finish the story. I want to hear Chip's response. Interesting.
Baker, he not mad necessarily getting cut, getting released, getting traded. Baker's like, "Hey, I'm just still waiting to hear from you after you ship me off." Comes Stefanski, I helped you win your first and only playoff game in Cleveland. Your first and only. I help you win your first coach of the year. I can't even get a call, a text. You feel me? So I like it. Now, Baker talking real tough for a dude that doesn't really get to the third round of the playoffs. But like, I like it though. I like it. Where you at, T?
I think everybody likes it. This is why people root for Baker Mayfield. This is why, because
getting cut 5 times is crazy. After the third cut, I might have retired. I mean, nah. Not when you're making the type of money that they're making. They make enough money in a couple months that most people aren't making in years, you know. Like some people maybe a decade, you know, like they're making, you know, so you do what you gotta do. You stay in shape, try to stick around as long as you can, you know. As long as you got an opportunity, that's all that matters. Chip versus DJ, Maxlin, Shady, etc. It's so overplayed. Dude, that was interesting though. Like he told him, "We're gonna call you back. We're going to bring you back," and never spoke to him again in his life. And the next time he's seen him is after both of them are done with football. That's kind of crazy. E. Jackson Shady still mad about something that happened 2 years ago. I mean, it's you know, they live in the media world, so they're gonna constantly get asked about it, you know, because they had a dream team, one of the best on paper assembled rosters that, you know, we'd ever really, I'm not gonna say ever seen, but you know, at that point in time, it was a amazing roster. So you know, to for it not to work out, you know, they forever gonna get asked about that. Roman should get over Seth breaking up the Shield. After 5 cuts, Acho only made 1.5 M's. Bro, the average American is not going to make 1.5 M's in their lifetime, you know. The average. So, you know, again, you know, that's good money for a few months out the year, you know. That's good money for a few months out the year. And then you got the rest of the year kind of to invest that money and work on some other stuff and, you know, kind of shape your life how you want it to go. Yeah, it's still good money. What up, Quinu?
What other quarterback or how many other quarterbacks would just send this tweet out?
Yeah.
They may speak on it when they play.
Yep.
But they wouldn't send this out now. You looking for the schedule like, man, when the Bucs gonna play the Falcons? Because you just want to see how that interaction is gonna be. But this is why Baker is who he is as a player. This is why he's made it as far as he's made it in the league, being the first pick, because he always has that chip on his shoulder. It's more of a respect thing. Like,
what's up, AZ?
Quarterback, we sit in a lot of meetings.
How I feel about the Titans Saleh hiring? It's a good hiring. I hate that it's in the AFC South because I'm a Texas fan, but it's a good hiring. Saleh's gonna turn that team around. What time zone? I'm Central.
Just you and I together. Head coach.
Always streaming late.
Play caller. Yep. We spend a lot of time together. We talking on the phone a lot, going over the game plan. I'm telling you what I like and don't like on the game over the phone a lot. So you mean to tell me you can't just give me a call? And that bothered him because he would have never tweeted that had that not been bothering him. It still was bothering him. And it's been years now. And so I don't mind it because this how you feel. Say how you feel.
Baker also, if we're being honest, he has what, Napoleon syndrome?
Nah, Baker Mayfield, I think he has
I think he got a, you know, chip on the shoulder. I don't think he got Napoleon syndrome.
If you disrespect me syndrome.
All right, AZ, take it easy, man. Get your rest.
But I'm gonna let you know.
Here's a super duper chip on his shoulder.
Here's why I say Napoleon, because Baker takes everything as disrespect. See if you can pull up what Baker said about Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes.
I think Saleh chose the Titans just because they got a lot of cap, and I think that they're giving him a lot of power, you know, in terms of controlling the team, you know, because it's a team that needs a turnaround. You know, it's a good spot. You know, them. I said this. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. Them and the Giants were the two teams. Like, if you want to go to a team and like turn it around and establish yourself, and you know, really build a team from the ground up, those are the best destinations. And I think that was just the ideal spot for a coach like Saleh, you know, especially with a team that got a bunch of cap space. You know, they giving him power and they giving him money. You know what I mean? So I think it's just super ideal. If Saleh brought Mike McDaniel to Tennessee, I would have crashed out. Oh man, I'm glad he didn't, man. Glad he didn't. Did he go to sleep?
Was the interim head coach for the Carolina Panthers when Steve Wilks like benched or cut or traded Baker Mayfield, and Baker went out and said something. Do we have the comments?
I remember this.
All right, Rome, does our volume work? All right, let's try this.
There you go. I loved it, and it's also their D coordinator was the one that cut me in Carolina, so it was a lot of stuff was personal today.
Great.
Former Jet.
Okay, defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Now I'm gonna keep talking. See if you can find Steve Wilks' response. I think Steve Wilks got on Twitter like.
I do think Baker got to let some of that stuff go, but he being transparent at the same time. Because I think any player, if we keeping it a bean, you know, even if you Jalen Hurts, who the guy who doesn't say stuff like that, you know, he gonna keep everything, you know, real stoic. I think every player is gonna feel that, but I don't think you have to say it all the time. But you know, he being transparent, it's not transparent to a detriment, you know. So I'm not mad at it. You know, if it was, you know, again, transparent to a detriment to where you're selling out your own team, then that's different. But these players, these coaches are not coaching you. They're not on the coaching staff. They're not on your team. So, you know, that's different.
60-some odd years to respond.
Yeah.
Baker take everything personal. Because Baker was playing the Jets, and the defensive coordinator for the Jets this year was Steve Wilks before he got fired. And Baker's like, yo, I love that comeback win. Defensive coordinator's the guy that cut me in Carolina.
Saying stuff like that could backfire. I mean, at the end of the day, you can talk as much as you want as long as you're going out there and you're preparing and you're proving, you know, you're doing what you got to do. Again, I don't really have, I'm not advocating for it, but I'm not condemning it because, again, he's not being overly transparent with stuff that's going on inside their locker room. You know what I mean? So you can give your opinion on whoever you want to, but just don't give your opinion on you know, don't give a negative opinion on anybody in the locker room or in the coaching staff of the team that you know you're a part of. So that's cool. I think we go after an OC. 3 OCs in 4 years would be a head scratcher. It is a head scratcher, but we got to get a guy that has a proven track record. You know, one of these OCs they got, you know, that's decent, and you know, he got a proven track record. And if there's no guy out there available, then we got to just stick with who we got. But we need somebody who actually has a track record of putting together good offense. Not a guy who's done it for 1 year, and not a guy who hasn't done it at all. You know, if we can't hit on that, then yeah, we gotta just stick with the guy we got.
And Steve Wilks was like, bro, I ain't even cut you. It wasn't even my decision.
Baker never said anything negative about Sean McVay. Nothing but positive things. Because Sean McVay treated him with respect. Never said anything wrong about Sean McVay, ever.
Did Sean McVay treat him with...
I'm pretty sure Sean McVay was transparent too, and didn't give him the runaround and make him believe like you're going to be our guy, you're going to be the franchise, you know? Like, wasn't Matt Stafford on that team? But Matt Stafford was just injured. So like Sean McVay not finna, you know what I mean? He not finna make you feel like something, like he not finna give you false hope. I'm gonna just be straight up with you. And Baker probably respected that, you know? I'm not gonna have ill will towards you because you didn't give me the runaround, you know, you were just straightforward with me. So it's respected.
Respect, or was Sean McVay forced into a situation?
He treated him, whether it's gonna work or not, he was honest with him.
Yeah,
no,
and
CJ
that's
didn't get
what
released.
people love. Here's Steve Wilks' response to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Extra motivation facing you. Do you have any reaction to that?
A lot of respect for Baker. Tremendous football player. And he's doing a hell of a job with those guys down there. So nothing really to say beyond that. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but I'm sure you're quite educated on it. I don't really think an interim coach has that much authority over personnel.
Interesting. So yeah. You know, I think Baker is taking it a little too personal, but at the same time, I ain't really, again, as long as you, again, like I said, I'm not advocating for what like him being outspoken to that level. But again, as long as you're not doing it to the people within the locker room, you're not selling nobody out, then it's all good. D'Amico was thinking about promoting our QB coach as an OC. Nah, bro, I don't want no more rookie OCs, bro. We need somebody who again got a track record, you know. I'm cool on that.
If that's the case, I would have never gotten rid of our best player, Christian McCaffrey.
So I think Baker takes everything as a slight. Why I love it, it's work for Baker. No scholarship offers out of Austin Westlake.
No, a good track record.
Freaking out of Lake Travis with the University of Texas 15 minutes down the road. You don't think Baker relished in beating Texas every time he got the opportunity? School 15 minutes down the road from me, don't offer me? Boom, he goes to Texas Tech. Baker left because they said you're going to have to compete for the job. Not because they said, A, you're going to lose the job. They said, like, you're going to have to compete. I believe it was with Davis Webb.
Yep.
And Baker's like, bruh, I just started as a true freshman. I'm not competing with nobody. He leaves, goes to Oklahoma, beats out Trevor Knight, if y'all remember.
Baker been on 4 teams. He started with the Browns, went to the Panthers, then went to the Rams, and then went to the Bucks. I believe in that order.
Trevor Knight was there. Katy Perry tweeted at Trevor Knight after watching that bowl game as a whole thing. Goes to Oklahoma, beats out Trevor Knight, becomes a starter, wins a Heisman, goes to Cleveland. So Baker uses this figment of hate as his motivation. Kind of, the Michael Jordan manuscript. Because after watching The Last Dance, everybody's like, Michael, nobody said that to you.
Yeah.
George Karl was like,
it up.
Michael, I never saw you at a restaurant before game 1. Like, what are you talking about? You make things up in your head.
I think it's an interesting situation. I mean, to be honest, you've convinced me not to get on your head. And you know what?
What do you think it was about? What about?
Because in my opinion, I felt like Stefanski was responsible in part for Baker Mayfield's departure from Cleveland, which I think is big on him. But also, I understand Andrew Berry tried to get it. Deshaun Watson, who they viewed as a huge upgrade as well. I do think it's a bit of a shot. But for me, the main thing is Baker. You're excited to see him 2 times a year, and you're giving them that fuel? A roster that's better than yours? A team that's really just waiting for a competent coaching to go win a lot of games? You don't look really bad when you...
There's not a gap. There's not a huge gap in terms of the Falcons and the Bucks roster. I do think the Falcons have a better roster, but it's not a huge gap. I think Falcons are better defensively, and I think the Bucks are... I think the Bucks are better offensively. I think they just the depth on the Bucks offense is crazy in comparison to the Falcons. But there is not a huge gap between them two at all. We drafted O-line, then signing ETN or Dowdle. I'm cool off of Dowdle. We need a home run hitter and running back. I like ETN though. ETN or Breece Hall. No offense, that was a good running back, but I just want a home run hitter. Drafting AJ Halsey as safety. That sounds like a good recipe. 8 years in the league, and Baker's still going the gimmick, the underdog gimmick. Falcons got the better roster. That's fair to say, but I don't think it's a gap between them two. Like I think the Bucks could easily make 1 or 2 moves this offseason and they'll be just as good as the Falcons. Like it's not like they're in the same tier, in my opinion, in terms of how good the teams are. Would you miss? Not too much. Nothing crazy. I don't think we've talked about anything crazy. Some of these topics we kind of going over some of the same stuff from the arena. How many more years Evans got? I think maybe 2 or 3. I think 2 more. That's it. I think him and Devontae retire around the same time. Devontae said he's going to retire whenever Matt Stafford retires. That's what he said. But we'll see.
Go out there and go 0-2 against them next year if that's what happens. That's just how it feels to me. But I think Baker is that dude with a chip on his shoulder. I said this whenever he was in college. He is unbelievably annoying and just like a tough guy to root for sometimes when he's not your quarterback.
Yeah.
When he is your quarterback, boy, oh boy, bro, I would love to have a quarterback like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With that mindset and with that heart.
With that mindset. Not with that arm.
Yeah. Well, the arm is nice.
I don't think Baker's incompetent. I think they play calling this year wasn't really great. But to each his own on that. Let's move on to the next topic. What will success look like for Jim Harbaugh? I think I could pass on. I feel like I've talked about Jim Harbaugh a lot over the last couple last week or so. What's this here? Issue with Kurt Cignetti and Deion comparison. I literally was just talking about this last night. Literally. I said this after the game. Kurt Cignetti is who Deion wanted to be. Well, I ain't say that.
They just watching film.
Yeah.
Definitely.
As soon as you come out that huddle, they calling everything. They calling everything.
Greats. Oh, yeah.
The greats.
Greats are great for a reason. Speaking of great, Kurt Cignetti won his national championship last night. And there was a tweet from an Isaac Lagoud Cotway. I don't know how to say that name. I'm sorry, brother. But he said Kurt Cignetti is who we wanted Deion Sanders to be at Colorado. Google me.
I think Devontae retiring and Matt Stafford retiring is just like he don't want to play mediocre football. So like, let's say the Rams have to go after a rookie quarterback after Matt Stafford retires. Like Devontae just don't want to play with a rookie. Like I want to play high level football, you know, and that's all he's done. He's played, you know, high level football consistently throughout his whole career. So, now let's say hypothetically, if the Bengals don't got it fixed in the next two years or so, and Joe Burrow wants to get traded and Matthew Stafford is leaving, and you know what I mean, they want to make a move for a Burrow, you know what I mean, I could see him staying, but I don't see Devontae staying for a rookie. I think he gonna get up out of there. He want to play high level football, and that's it. Cam Newton to the Rams when Stafford retires. Interesting. Baker forget he did this. Baker Mayfield requested a trade from the Browns. Yeah, because they did they not sign Deshaun Watson at this point? I don't think he did this before they signed Deshaun. Straight or March 20th, and then this was March 17th. I'm pretty sure they knew Browns announced trade, so they already knew this was 3 days before. Oh no, March 18th. So yeah, Baker already knew that they were trading for Deshaun Watson. March 18th, the exact day before. Yeah, so that's what that had to do with. Mac Hollins would be so clutch. I don't think he returns though. Mac go chase that money. He got to maximize that bread. He's a player who does everything: special teams, block, receive, whatever, you know, everything you need him to do. So he's gonna go wherever the money is. Somebody in the NFL is gonna want him.
And win it all. Kurt Cignetti also known for, you know, popping his stuff and going out there and winning championships. Now, do you guys take issue with this comparison though?
He was mad they traded him. No, I don't think he was mad that they traded him. He was mad that they moved on from him. Them pursuing Deshaun Watson 100% means he's the backup quarterback. Like that, like at that point in time, Deshaun Watson was clearly, no question about it, a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. So like you know for 100% fact, like they're replacing me. So you're not gonna just sit there and be a backup in your early 20s or mid or early 20s. You know, you're gonna request a trade. So They replaced him. Broncos are considering putting Bo Nix on sort of like a heavy painkiller to get him to play through his broken ankle injury. What the heck? Never used for more than 5 consecutive days due to severe potential side effects, increased risk of stomach ulcers, bleeding, kidney failure, heart attack, and stroke. Interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Pat Mahomes took this in that Super Bowl, because he had it looked like, I can't remember, I think he had like a high ankle sprain and he played on it, like it looked like he re-injured it in the game versus the Eagles, or was that the Eagles? I can't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised if he took that. had to do with Baker losing the locker room too, because that entire OBJ situation was going on, Diggs and Booty. But I mean, like, realistically, if you're just not all in on Baker, like, and Deshaun Watson, who, again, a quarterback who was consistently, while he was at that point in time in the league playing like a top 5 quarterback, he's gonna, you have the opportunity to acquire him. I mean, you go and do that. You know, that's like looking at like let's say like Bryce Young right now versus who's a guy, I'm trying to think. Who's a guy who's on a come up? Ain't really nobody like that in that position. Let's say like I don't know. Like, let's say Drake May, like Bryce Young versus Drake May. Let's say Drake May is they're thinking about trading him. You gonna make that move for Drake May? It just kind of just makes sense.
No, however, Kurt Cignetti and Deion Sanders.
Not at all. I found this fascinating because I'm like, they're kind of right. Like, Kurt Cignetti is kind of a goofy, awkward, no name at the time guy who was talking that cash, but backed it up. For those that don't know, see if you can find that Google Me clip.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Kurt Cignetti had won a big game last year.
That shit was funny.
Like, he won a big game, and there's like, Kirk, about Indiana, He says, if you don't know who I am, Google me.
I win.
Yep. At JMU, he won. At Indiana, he won. And the other dilemma with Kurt Cignetti, and obviously Deion has a whole bunch of stuff going on, right? Deion Sanders are dealing with bladder cancer, but like, for people say it's Colorado, it's hard to win there. It's harder to win at Indiana. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm not gonna really entertain this conversation too much because, again, I literally brought this up last night, but it is definitely a funny comparison. Broncos trading for Russ analogy, yeah. I've seen Matt Collins on shorts. I've definitely seen him pop up in my feed. He got a cool little thing going on, man. Like, his brand outside of football, like he can get sponsors from anybody, really. You know, like he got a cool little thing going on. He can make him some nice money off the field. They just give him a painkiller.
that is why Dan Lanning said, like, rooted in substance. Because Kurt Cignetti's team is also rooted in substance. Deion did a phenomenal job marketing the Colorado Buffaloes 2 years ago, and he deserves credit for that because at the end of the day, revenue for the program, academic achievements for the program, tickets sold out for the program, and brought an influx of revenue into the city. But the fact of the matter is, Colorado didn't win anything meaningful, whereas Kurt Cignetti has won the most meaningful thing you can win at that level. So, yeah, I do understand why people are saying it because this was what we hoped for from Deion.
This is what Deion preached. The same formula that Cignetti took and it worked was the same formula that Deion came in with. But I think it just come down to Cignetti. He a better coach, like, straight up, like, because I mean the proof is in the pudding, But I don't know, man. I don't know. Deion, you got to get better. And I think, too, Deion was trying to win. Deion was trying to win based off of skill positions. But with football, bro, it's won in the trenches. You need D-line and you need O-line. You can have some amazing athletes out there, but you need them dogs on the D-line and the O-line. You know what I mean? You can have a bunch of fast guys flying around and making good tackles and big hits and all this here, but that's what they lacked. At least I didn't watch Colorado this year, but when I was watching Colorado, that's what they lacked. They lack good D-line and they lack good O-line.
We've been knowing Deion for 30 years.
Yep.
Deion he been uber confident in anything for 30 years. So then when Kirk Cignetti pops on the scene, it's like, wait, who this dude?
Mm-hmm.
We've been hearing this from Deion for decades. And this is an eye-opener for a lot of coaches, is you want to go get the 5-star recruit out the portal that's 19, 20.
Mm-hmm.
Man, y'all better go get them boys that's 22, 23.
That's what we said yesterday.
That to me is the key, is you get these dudes that are mature, that can still play football, but they're mature. They know what they want. You're going to get these 4- and 5-star recruits. Damn.
Like O-line, take a safety in the first round. if it's a guy, it's gonna be best player available. Those are our needs. But if we can add O-line and free agency, I'm with that. But I mean, I don't really care if we do it in free agency or if we do it in the draft. It don't matter. But either those are probably the biggest things we could address. Josh said Jalen Reed is good. We're gonna see. But I wouldn't. It's not like we have a lot of holes. So if we go first round O-line, then we go second round safety. If we go first round safety, we go second round O-line. So either way it go, we'll see. Or maybe we go first and second round O-line, but and we get a safety in the offseason, but it's whatever.
In a portal for a reason. But you go get these kids that have been playing real good, solid football that got a lot more strength and experience.
Texans defense isn't leaving. No, but we can upgrade the defense, and that's what I want to see. I want to see the defense get even better. Like it's not perfect. Like there's very much room to improve on that defense. And I think you can upgrade the interior line. I think you can upgrade one of the linebackers. I think you can upgrade one of the safeties. And I think you can add depth. And it's not to say what we have there is bad, but it can be upgraded, and it's not far-fetched because we have majority of our positions filled that we don't need to draft a starting corner. We don't need to draft a starting defensive end. We don't need to draft a starting receiver. We don't need to draft a starting, what I mean? Like it. So what we need is not super detrimental, but it's it's easy to see that we can easily pick that up. Have the 7th pick and a 2nd, so not bad. Imagine they let Will Anderson walk. Why would they let him walk? That's like saying, imagine if the Patriots let Drake May walk. In a mock, they got Caden Proctor, which is top 3 still tackle. Interesting. I don't know if we need tackle because we just drafted Ariante Ursery. I don't know who our right tackle is though. So
Experience in these kids coming out of high school, and you put them in a system that benefits them, and this is what you get. Nobody never thought Indiana and Kurt Cignetti. Man,
nobody.
Hey, it's pretty simple.
Teams let players walk all the time, but like I could see if you're saying that with like a team like the Raiders let Max Crosby walk. Like why would realistically at this point in time, why would the Texans let Will Anderson walk? Why would it fits a team who would do something like that, but they're not that team right now. Like this not Bill O'Brien with DeAndre Hopkins, Coach tweeting during the game.
I wanted more. Put your clown shoes on and dance for me.
Bruh.
The defensive coordinator for the Indiana Hoosiers said this to a fan online. Brother, it's different.
Dude, I promise you.
Interesting.
Like, Miami was motivated to beat them yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Never know, he might chase the money. Texans have been re-signing all of their, if I'm not mistaken, I think did they pay Will Anderson? I don't know if they did, but Texans have been re-signing a lot of their younger guys early, so they're going to pay Will Anderson before his contract comes up. No. I think he still got a 5th-year option. This website slows my computer down immediately when I go onto it. That's crazy. There's so many ads on there. But yeah, they're going to pay him before his contract comes up for sure. Say that to the Bengals. Too, but that's the Bengals, like the Texans are a team that's in playoff contention. They got a Super Bowl caliber defense. You're not going to let a guy like that walk. It's just that, I again, there are certain franchises I can see something like that happening with, and the Texans, they're not one of those right now. We for sure still got Will, I think, for at least 2 more years. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna pay him before that comes up. Okay. I think we done. I talked about the Indiana game yesterday. We're gonna keep it. We about done. Good segment. condensed what let's see, this episode was about, how long was this? This episode was 2 hours, and the arena was about an hour, maybe about 2 hours as well. So condensed that in about 2.5. So that's pretty cool. Not too bad.